The Marcia Weekes Show. It's the Marcia Weekes Show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Weekes Show. It's the Marcia Weekes Show. From Barbados to Africa, voices unite. Educate minds, elevate sight. It's the Marcia Weekes Show. Talk truth, build roots, stories unfold. Motivate change, mobilize is the mode, that's the MR code. Hey! We growing, we know it.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, boys and girls, and welcome to the Marcia Weekes Show. We are coming to you live from Barbados. I normally have the flag in my hand, but I don't have it tonight. But you know what the Barbados flag is? All you've got to do is just try to imagine that I'm flying the flag very, very high. All right. So we're coming to you live from Barbados, and you just heard the national anthem of Barbados. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it lovely? It's a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday evening. And, you know, I tell you something, as we are celebrating how great this evening is, the truth is that we have lost another young man today. Yes, we lost another young man today, Wednesday, April 29th. Another one right in Wildy was shot today. And we really, really need to have some serious discussions about this. Very, very serious discussions. We're going to talk about that in the On the Radar segment and really send out a plea to the law enforcement. We have some questions, so also just for the government and for society, but because this is becoming a real serious issue for us here in Barbados. And we are also on the radar. We're going to talk about the seaweed built up right there in River Bay. Anybody's been down there recently? Oh my goodness. I remember being in River Bay and it was, I mean, stinks to the highest heavens. Awful. We're going to talk about that and ask some questions about the equipment. We are also on the radar tonight. We're also going to talk about this Bajanizing of tourism. What do we really mean by that? Is it another buzzword? We're gonna look at that. And we know as well that Stephen Strickland is going to be with us at 8:30 tonight with answering all of our questions, pensions with the NIS. All right. So all the questions, pension, NIS, Stephen Strickland. He's going to join us this evening. But before any of that happens, we have some young men that are going to join us this evening. As per usual, it's Wednesday. And so we have Ramon Goodman is going to be with us and Jamal Sandiford. Yeah, so you're going to ask, what happened to Damien? Well, tonight, Damien has a work assignment, and so he's not going to be able to be with us tonight. And as you know, Dale works at night as well. But we are going to have Ramon. Ramon will join us first, and then Jamal will join us a little later. But we want to, before we go any further, I mean, I just gave you the lineup there. That's like a good, spread. We have a big spread for you tonight. And of course, 9 o'clock, what you got to do? You got to call in. All right, we call in and let's have those discussions. But let me just look down here at my laptop, and I'm looking down at the laptop. I'm hoping one of these days I'll be able to have my big TV spread across the back there that I can watch. I can see your comments from far. But right now I'm leaning over to say good evening to Carol, Teroni, Judy Jilks. Yes, Dan. Dan was the first to join, actually. Monica, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Ronald, good evening. Good to see everybody. Charmaine, Mavis, good evening. Oh, my goodness. Lucinda, Annette Brewster, Lori Bob. And Lori, here I can hit that high note. I'm a big girl. Lucinda, Shirley, Matthew B, how you doing? I'm a big girl. Judith Ann Clark. Vihoy is back. Is it cold, Vihoy? Is it cold in New York there? Yes. And I want to say, before I go to Sandra Brewster, Marcia Miller, how you doing, girl? I saw you, I glimpsed you at the funeral. I think I said that earlier, but then I didn't get to greet you there. I like to greet my people. We have Sandra Brewster, and I just want to say to us, Sandra, make sure if you're the wrong person, please let me know. I am just trying to reach out to you to say publicly condolences to you, because I know you is it you who have lost your two sons, days apart, and they didn't have anything to do with crime. They were not well. And I just, all in their 40s, and I spoke with her this evening, and I want you, let me just go all the way to the bottom to Sandra. Is that, am I saying, is this the right person? If it's the right person, Sandra, let me know before I go on any further. Because I'm waiting on Sandra just to confirm that's her. Yes, okay. That's our Sandra Brewster, and she has lost her two sons, not to crime and violence. They were not well. And I'm going to ask every single mother. I want every mother. Can you write down her name, please? Please write down her name, and let's surround her as a community. Can we do that? Can you promise that you will write her name down, and we are going to pray for her? Dave and I, we prayed for her this morning, and I asked those who were on the prayer call this morning to pray. Let's pray for her. We can just imagine all we can do is imagine. And so, Sandra Brewster, please receive condolences from the Marcia Weekes Show, from the loyal opposition, and know that you're in our hearts. And when the funeral is, please let us know, so that some of our members can be there, some of the viewers, just to surround you and to be there for you. Okay. God bless you. Please reach out if there's anything else that we can do. Please let us know. But I can't imagine losing, two children. I mean, this is just really, really very, very sad. But Shirley, Mystic Angel, Victorious, everybody, if I missed you out tonight, I'm sorry. Queen D46, Vihoy, I know you are Miss Fanos. Yes, 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 yes. So bless you all. Sonia, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Well, guys, again, I just want to thank you for joining. I'm going to ask you to, as we take this break, we're going to take a break now. And I know Dave has something, a beautiful song to play. I don't know if it's one of Michelle's songs, but let me just, as days I wait on Dave, let me just say a big, big shout out to Michelle. Michelle, thank you, Michelle Daniel. She did a beautiful song, and we played it during the prayer, the pause. Wasn't the pause amazing? We need to talk about that a little later on. But I want to say thank you to everybody who joined, and thank you to Michelle. And we also had another song that came from someone overseas as well, and we gave credit to that person already. But we just want to say thank you to Michelle, who continues to provide us with material that we can use. So thank you, Michelle. So over to you, Dave. Listen, this is Valerie. And this woman, I have known her since I've been to Barbados. It's over 20, almost 20 something years, near 30 years, and look how you're looking lovely. I tell you, the Lord has really, God is really good. God is good. God is good. And listen, you are here at the Gospel Fest launch. You've been to many.
Oh, I saw her Gospel Fest in 1998. Yeah, I did my first, because I was on the Gospel Fest committee.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
that's right. So I did my first Gospel Fest in 1998.
And which event were you? You were.
No, I was the comms person for
Yes,
Gospel Fest
yes.
from 98 till about 2014.
My
Yes.
goodness. And
But work and everything took over. So right now I just, agent calls, I answer, do a little thing for him, have a little chat, and I'm here just to get the support.
to support.
Yes.
Support. That is
Yes.
wonderful. 33 years. You believe that?
Yep, and I was saved as a result of Gospel Fest in agent's office while doing
Wow, you
Yes.
became a Christian through Gospel Fest.
Yep.
My goodness.
One night while doing the planning.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Now, so how do you
Seriously.
feel about the event at Quarry Hill? I mean, I'm so excited about
Oh,
that.
I am very excited. I've seen Farley Hill grow. I've seen the blood, sweat, and tears in terms of planning and hoping that it would grow, hoping that it would impact. Um, there are two really memorable occasions with Farley Hill. One was a night where we decided to really go to God, and we went into Farley Hill in the middle of the night and walked and prayed it. That was the night before the One Awesome Day, and I think it was Shine the Light. When they
yes,
began
yes.
to sing that day, a mist came down.
Yes, I remember.
Yep. And the
Yes,
Holy
you're
Spirit just
so
rested.
right.
Yep.
Shine the light.
Yep, and I will
Oh my
never
gosh.
forget that. As a matter of fact, oops, sorry, I took someone up there, a visitor up there recently, and told them that story.
That story.
Yes,
So, what I love about Gospel Fest is the outreach aspect of it.
yes,
And such a beautiful story that you became a Christian
yes.
out of Gospel
Yes,
Fest.
I did.
And Farley Hill in particular,
Adrian, we have to come.
the producer is asking, the producer is asking for people to actually bring people. And from our show, we are bringing a busload of people
Yeah.
from the
I'm very glad that we've gotten to that point where we're challenging people to bring along people, walk with somebody, because it brings it now back to the actual heart of what Party Hill was about. Not just a great show, but a great show of God's strength and power and majesty, and a great show of His love. So there's nothing like embracing and opening our arms just as God has done. And I think that it really should be impactful, but most of all, it is obedience.
That's wonderful.
So it shall only grow fruit.
Yes. Well, it's a pleasure seeing you again, ma'am. And thank you for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking to me.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That's I tell you, one of these days I'm going to have my big studio,
Of course.
right? And we wouldn't have to be doing a lot of these things. But welcome again
Well,
to the
thank you.
Marcia Weekes Show.
Thank you, and welcome. I'm glad to be here
Yes.
as usual, and I want to say good night to the viewers, everyone in the diaspora.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Pleasure to see you guys. Pleasure to be here each and every Wednesday night.
Yes, and you know what? The people look forward to it, Ramon.
Of course. And I love the comments. Guys continue to comment.
Yeah, you
continue
get
to
comments
follow.
when you
Of course,
go
yes,
on the street.
Of course.
What you're hearing? What you're hearing?
I was actually hearing that the show is one of these inspirational shows. The show,
Mhm.
it is very informative as well too.
Yes.
Not just entertaining, but very informative. It keeps people. A lot of people would love to actually watch the show
Mhm.
so that they keep the ears to the ground.
Yes.
And it informs you. It's very informative.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm always happy to be here.
Yes.
And a fantastic host.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness! It's been a joy. It's been a joy.
Fantastic.
Now we're here talking really calm and so on, but we had some excitement on Friday.
Yes.
Did we have some excitement on Friday?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
The whole thing.
And I remember when I heard, I'm like, IShowSpeed is coming to Barbados, right?
Yes.
The IShowSpeed was here on Friday. If those of you under a rock, you don't know. But I said, I called you and said, Ramon, are you going?
That's
right?
correct.
And what you told me?
I plan to go.
You plan to go?
Yeah, I plan to see where he's going and so forth. I plan to follow, but that did not happen, unfortunately. But I watched a lot of the scene on the TV.
Yes.
So I watched it a lot. I followed him whilst he would have traversed some parts of Barbados.
Yes, yes.
And the excitement was actually surrounded him. Nobody's business. In a sense.
And there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk even after. But the truth is, I called you to see if you were going, and because I wanted to go too.
Yes, of course.
I wanted to go. I wanted to take my camera and to go because he's a streamer. I'm not a streamer. Yeah. As in the sense that he is, but I'm on YouTube. And we understand what new media is all about. This is all about new media. And the impact. We're seeing the impact of new media. What he has done, traditional media is not able to do it. But how did you know about IShowSpeed?
Okay, my brother actually, he's the person who
He's younger or older?
No, he's a little older. He's a little older.
He's older and he follows IShowSpeed?
What happens is that he has notification. So when any event is coming up where he's concerned, it actually alerts him. Right. So he was following. He said he realized that it was a tour. But I didn't see the date initially. The dates he was actually coming to Barbados, but then it popped up on my brother's feed, and the notification came through. I said, well, he's coming to Barbados, so that's how I actually knew that he was coming to Barbados. I had a little view of him before, due to the notification.
Yeah.
But then, it was confirmed, and I continued to follow it and follow it and follow it.
Yeah.
He was here.
Yeah. So before that, you knew nothing of him?
Yes, because of the video games. He actually plays video games online, and then he would go to different places and experience their culture and so forth as well too, and he interacts with the people. He actually eats the food and everything, and he gives little ratings and so forth. But I believe he started out streaming video games.
Yes, just video games. So obviously his demographic would be with the Gen Zs, the teenagers.
Of course.
Because they would be more in video games. Not that you have older people, you play video games.
Of course, I love video games.
So then,
video games.
So really, you have a lot of guys, a lot of young men.
That is correct.
That are following him.
I believe it. A lot of ladies also, they also play video games as well. And some of them are far better than us in terms of skills,
right?
As well, and sports games as well. To believe it or not, they're pretty good. A game called Call of Duty, which is a shooting game. They're pretty good. They're really good actually. Some of the best players. Can be women.
Women as well. So you knew him from games.
That is correct.
From playing the games. Yes. And when you heard that he was coming to Barbados, how did you feel about that?
I felt really good about it, to be honest with you. Creatives, I love creatives, and this is a new era. This is a new era of entertainment, right? It's not only that he's a big Cristiano Ronaldo fan as well too. So he's into football,
right? Sports. So he's into football.
That is correct.
He's into gaming, and then he travels to all these different countries. Well, for me, as I told the viewers the other night, I learned about him. I think when my son was probably 17 or so, my youngest son. And he told me about him, and because he was all into him, gave me all the stories. He told me how his mom told him that he would either have to stop streaming, right? That he has to stop streaming, and or whatever. And so he decided to go live with his father so he could stream. You heard,
in that, I was told as well too that their relationship was a little strained as well too.
Yes.
But he still supports her.
Yes.
That's what I've been seeing. Based on her reception.
Yes.
And he was actually involved in the event called WrestleMania. I don't know if the viewers there follow.
Yes, I've been told that.
But it's a huge event where wrestling is concerned. Where wrestling entertainment is concerned.
Right.
And he was a part of it as well too. He also played in a celebrity match, football match, where the legends of the game, they would come out and play against one another.
Right.
He's not the best, and he missed a couple goals.
And that's what I've been told. I've been told by my son, Mom, he's not a good football player at all. He doesn't play football very well.
He loves it. He loves it. Based on what I'm seeing, he loves it.
He loves it, but he doesn't play.
No.
Yeah, but I find it very interesting that there is such a. Well, I should ask you: do you find it interesting that there's such a divide in terms of how people see him? Now, I see him. I mean, I'm a creative, so obviously, I'm going to see him in a different light.
Of course.
Right, I see him as he's an entertainer. He is he's a producer.
Of course.
I watch him. When I watch him, it reminds me of myself in St. Vincent.
Yes.
You saw me in St. Vincent when I was after the elections.
After the election. Yes, yes.
I was
of
out there
course.
with my
Yeah,
camera.
that is correct.
And
Yes,
so
yes,
as when you're out there, you are producing,
that is correct.
you are directing,
Mhm.
at producing and directing at the same time,
That is
because
correct.
you have to actually look for those moments. That could be a viral moment.
That's correct.
You have to look for what is happening. You can't just put the camera. You're looking for everything, running, moving. Okay, somebody is coming down the street with a beautiful costume. That's what you want. So you are playing all these different roles, at the same time. Luckily, I had somebody watching me to make
Yes.
sure that I was okay. But I see him doing that.
Of course.
He's looking for those moments. So he's producing, he's directing, he's doing everything.
Yes.
All that, and that takes a lot of skills.
A lot of skills. And you realize that he is actually all over the place, and he has lots of energy. And I'm a foodie myself, and when I saw him always trying out with different foods and so forth,
Yeah.
I was really impressed. If you look at his production as well too,
Mhm.
his production team, along with himself, must be complimented, because they also had some drone shots as well too.
Yes.
And I found the production was really
Awesome.
clean.
I mean, and he as a producer
Of course.
and director, he's calling for the shots.
Of course.
So as a filmmaker, I'm noticing those things.
So difficult to do.
Yeah, it's difficult.
So difficult to do.
He's calling. He said, "Bring the drones." He's calling for everything, and and that guy is 21 years old,
That is massive.
and is a millionaire,
Yes.
multi-millionaire.
Yeah, I think we were saying between 15 and 20 million dollars.
Million
In
dollars.
terms of net worth.
His net worth.
In terms of net worth, so that is very decent money. I can say that.
Very decent.
Very decent. Very decent. But obviously, as I said before, I love the creative space.
Yes.
And it is things are different.
Mhm.
There's a change in what we consider entertainment, and
Right.
so forth. That's the divide. A lot of people will see the cons in it, just the cons.
Yes.
But I can see some pros, I can see some cons.
Which we're gonna get to.
Of
We're
course,
gonna
of course.
we're gonna get the conversation. We get
Of
there. I
course.
know the chat must be going crazy.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I can't even see the chat tonight. I don't know if you can see it, Ramon, and read and tell me.
There is a lot of money behind him.
A lot of money behind him.
Angela Knight.
Okay, a lot of
Yes,
money
yes.
behind him. But the truth of the matter is that, Angela, is that this young man, when he started out, he had very few subscribers.
Yes,
And so he has earned his keep. He didn't just start yesterday.
of course.
He is 21 now, and he started, I think, when he was at 15 or 16
That's correct.
years old. So he has worked, and he's at the top of his craft.
Yes.
As a producer, a director, he is writing a script as he's writing scripts.
Yes, that's correct.
People
That's
don't
correct.
understand that when you are out there, you're making a show, you're creating as you go.
It's very technical.
Very, very technical.
Along with doing all the stuff that you do, which is tasting the food, and running around playing the little road tennis and so forth. It's amazing. He's doing that. I mean, he has someone to help him, a team to help him, but he's doing that, and also, as you said, directing and producing
Yes.
as well too. So that's a feat.
I remember once I heard him. He's telling somebody, "Look, the camera light. You need to plug in. That battery is going." And that's what on a film set, the director is going to be seeing all of that. The cinematographer will see all of that, and this one young man. So the question is, what are people say? Why are they running? And I thought about it this evening, and I thought, what are they running to? Because they're running to him. They're not running away from him.
Yeah, that is correct.
And in a culture like Barbados, right?
Yeah.
We don't, they say with celebrities, Bajans don't, they don't do all of that.
We generally don't, We generally don't. But
what's the difference here?
I think the era and the generation, there were one or two older people I saw I think it was an older gentleman. He ran. He started to run as well too. But I mean, this is a gentleman. If you watch the stream, we're looking at 53 million people watching at the same time. You know, and
53 million.
53 million. And you know, he was saying we're going to get to 54 million, and it went up to 54 million. You know, so that's loads of people watching all around the world. You know, and he resonates with the things that people love, the younger people love as well too. Video games, you know, sports. So you know, that's someone that the younger people will obviously gravitate towards because they share a common interest. Right? They share a common interest.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was also looking at this, and I want those of you who are listening, we're creatives and we will see it very differently. I also have, you know, I work with young people. That's what I do. You know, I'm always with young people, and I have sons, so maybe a little bias there. And as I said, my son introduced me to it, to him and other streamers as well.
Yes, other streamers.
And you realize how you know how really big they are. But you wonder, as I said, what are they running to? And I thought about, even think about Barbadian youth in a country where we can be so pious and together. You know, it seems like, could it be they're running to this unfiltered freedom? You know, they see unfiltered, well, what appears to be unfiltered freedom. So some of you adults, you know, we're going to get to some of the issues that you have, but let's look at some of the positives about this. Could they be running, could it that they're running towards unfiltered freedom? They see what freedom in their mind looks at, because he's taking risks.
Yes, of course.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, because he's outside the usual 9 to 5, you know, the usual. I know that I want to make this clear, and a disclaimer: maths and English and academia is very important.
Yes.
However, he would have gone and stepped outside of that box, right? And outside of that box, the younger people, they're seeing a level, as you mentioned, of freedom, taking risks. You know, he does backflips. You know, I mean, he's a whole set of energy, and that is outside the usual social construct of that 9 to 5 office.
So you touched on another thing, because freedom is one thing, you know, but is it that they're running towards a new path to success?
A new path to success.
Because I used to, although I still have one CXC student, teach CXCs, and I stopped. Because I realized that generation, their parents, the reality is that they're really not into that too much.
Yeah.
You know, they're not really into wanting the 9 and the 10 CXCs. I'm speaking generally. I find that interest is not there as much.
Yeah.
Because they really do believe there is a new path to success. Because here's a young man, he probably has finished his high school, right? But he didn't go to college. He's 21 and he's a multi-millionaire. And it's not through drugs.
Yeah.
It is not through gun banging.
Of course.
It's not through crime.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
In fact, he doesn't drink.
There we go. Yes.
He doesn't even drink alcohol.
It is amazing. You know.
So tell me about your thoughts about, is it this new path to success?
I love it. Furthermore, right? And I will keep, you know, making reference to this disclaimer. Academia important. Right, but this is an avenue, and they always talk about this.
Yes,
the diversification of the economy through the orange economy, through the creatives, you know, content creators. And I saw, and I share the same view as well too. You know, I really share the same view that there should be ways in which even local people, you know, in terms of their content and so forth, there should be a way where it can be seriously monetized.
Yes.
And, you know, that pathway as well too, right? To have that pathway and that, I guess, outside the box avenue, you know, to make some serious money. I even look at video games. There are people who are in tournaments overseas, and they make some tournaments $250,000, wants to win the tournament, you know.
Wow.
And that is
From video games.
That is correct.
I remember waking up at night, you know, my son was at, you know, Harrison College doing CXCs, and get up one night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm hearing the computer, hearing noise in his room. He is up playing games. Listen to me, man. We could not understand this games. They lock up in their room and playing games. But, you know, people are making money from these things.
Of course, and serious money. And again, you know, I think is, as you mentioned, the freedom. People are. He is a very good example of someone who would have gone outside the box and become successful. I still think though the maths and the English is important. Obviously, you gotta learn to balance the books when you start to make that money, right? Yes. You know, some level of financial literacy must come into play. But you know, stepping outside that box like that and taking that risk. And
yes, very important.
You know, that is very important.
Yeah.
Very,
no, I, as an educator, I believe that, you know, traditional, academic education, because it doesn't mean that he's not educated.
Of course.
Because he has to learn the business.
Yes, in a serious way. He had to learn the business, you know. He had to learn the business. And I can tell you something, you know, some of these content creators and so forth, with all that money, you know, and they hire someone to balance the book, they better look as well too, and take over that person, because you've seen in the past, you know, managers and so forth stealing the money.
Correct.
So I think it is in their best interest still to have some level of financial literacy in their system as well too.
To understand. Yeah, very. You know, the other thing is, and I know some of the adults watching, you are clutching your pearls at this moment. You know, you mean to tell me they don't want to study? They don't want to get a degree? They don't want to become a mechanical engineer, or, you know, they don't want to do their masters? They don't want to do their doctorate? You know, because they are finding newer paths of success, a different path. And I tell you, we have to be open in order to reach them. We need to be open. Now, the other thing that I thought about is, with this guy, you know, young people, they don't like fake people.
That's correct.
They want you to be authentic.
Yeah.
If you're not authentic, they're going to sniff you out.
That's correct.
You know that?
Of course.
And they believe this guy is real, whether it is so or not. What the image, his brand,
of course.
Right? It's being authentic.
Yes.
Being authentic is his brand.
And
are they running towards what they call realness?
Yeah. I actually watched his as I told you, I watched his stream, right? And it had seemed to me he was so natural in all of his type of behaviors, you know. Whether when he ran, you know, whether when he actually challenged the person in road tennis, you know, he said, "Well, I can beat you." And then when he realized he wasn't doing a good job at the road tennis, he said, "Look, give me two." He just
he came and said,
"Give me two."
Yeah, he came. He took the guy's hand and he said, "No, give me 2 weeks.
You know?
So we gotta
give me 2 weeks and I can come back."
Yeah,
you know, so you know, it had seemed to me that he was genuine as well too. Also, when he ate some of the food, you know, his stomach started to hurt him. You know, starting to hurt, you know, flashing it, you know, starting to kick in.
Because he ate all
you know,
and so much.
And he actually talked about it.
Yes.
You know, seriously, talked about it seriously. During the stream.
Yeah.
You know, so again, he had seen, you know, this is IShowSpeed. This is me, right? And that is something that I believe that they gravitate towards as well too. Right?
And that is important for young people.
Yes.
And I think those of you who are watching, the you know, the parents and the adults who are watching, I think it is important. You might not want to hear all of what we're saying, but it's important that we discuss it, because we need to understand what would cause a 10-year-old or 11-year-old or 12, 14, 15, and even older to be running like that in the street. It is so uncharacteristic, not Barbadian at all, to do this, but they're doing it.
Yeah.
And I think it is important. Pause, please. Let go of the pearls and let us examine exactly what is happening. Yeah.
I think too, there might be some clutching of the chest as well too from some of the viewers, right?
Yeah.
Because I believe sometimes
Mhm.
parents, they love to live vicariously through
Yes.
their children as well too,
Mhm.
right? In the parents' mind, sometimes it's about, I want you to be a doctor,
Mhm.
and sometimes the children, they're not interested in being a doctor,
Mhm.
but the parents, obviously, they probably never got the opportunity to do so, or they might be a doctor, and they want to live that second
Yeah.
life through their children, right?
Yeah.
So you find that, that is where sometimes the conflict can come as well too.
Yes.
The parents want to live vicariously
Through their children.
their children.
I wonder if Dave could put up some of the comments, and can you see if you can read any for me, please? Again, guys, we are looking for a big flat screen TV that I can have in front of me so I can read it.
Yeah.
Any comments that we're seeing there?
Seeing a lot of good nights. He is humble
When he loses.
when he loses. What
Yes.
else do we have here? He is confident from what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
He's sensitive to purpose, and you saw his generosity to the little boy. He went into the next day's location to give the little boy money for phone. You saw it too with the donation to the flooding for Dominica. Yes.
You saw, I mean, that was very heartfelt. Thank you, Angela. And Angela is a parent.
Yes.
She has young people.
Okay.
And I think those parents with young people, I think that, and once you're in tune with your young people, you have whether it is that you, like myself, we run an organization with young people, or you have them in your home, and once you're listening to them, you're going to understand what is going on.
And the thing about it is, like, I'm glad she mentioned confidence as well too. He raced a horse. He said,
even though
speed, I can beat a horse. The rider said, the jockey said, you see the amount of feet this horse has.
Yes.
As compared to you have two. Look, there we go. No, but he was so confident, you know what? I can beat this horse.
He can beat the horse.
And that's another thing that.
What do you think a young person seeing him do that and knowing that, how are you going to beat the horse? But he says he can beat the horse. What do you think that is saying to a young man?
It's very, very inspirational.
What is the inspiration?
I can do. No matter what they say, I can do this. I will do this. That is exactly what it's saying to the young man. That's what IshowSpeed, trying to race a horse, knowing full well, it's unlikely you'll be able to beat the horse. But he's trying. He exudes,
and believes he can do it.
He believes that he can do it. He believes he can do it. And I think that they saw that on the track too. By the way, the children were also cheering him on, even though he was getting some licks by the horse.
Yeah.
The horse was right up front.
But they were screaming for IshowSpeed.
Still screaming.
Wow. So they see themselves in him.
Of course.
And the possibilities of what they could be.
The sky is the limit.
Well, I'm waiting, hoping, Dave, if you can get Caleb on the phone. He's supposed to call in. If you can get Caleb calling me, Dave, that would be lovely. Because Caleb. Where is Caleb? He's supposed to call Dave. See if you can get Caleb calling me.
Yes.
A WhatsApp call. I would want a WhatsApp call will be great. Yeah.
And the only thing that is constant in this world is change. And as I said before, the creative economy, the orange economy, that is a way to diversify Barbados' economy as well too. Now we had, I believe that it was something called Autobank. I keep getting the name wrong. Autobank. When they came down for production.
The Autobank.
Yes.
All right. A film. Yeah.
And there was actually some local crew who was able to partake in the production.
Yes, some of our people here at Prince Academy
and
that in the film industry.
Right.
I recommended quite a number of them to be part of Outer Banks.
Lovely.
And and you need more of that.
Of course. So these are avenues, a step outside the box. Monetization of the contain
Okay.
those.
I think he's calling right now. He's calling now. So, guys, bear with us. Let's see if we get this call of this young one. Good night. Good night. Good night, Caleb.
Hello, good night.
Good night. So Dave, let's see if the call, if they can hear. Guys, we are doing a makeshift thing here, until we get all of our equipment. Some of you writing me and tell me, but this don't look good. But we don't have the equipment, all right? But we have Caleb King. Caleb, everybody remember Caleb? I hope you remember Caleb King. Good evening, Caleb.
Good evening.
Good evening. Now, Caleb, where do you go to school again? Remind us.
St. Leonard's.
You're at St. Leonard's. And you're in what form are you in?
Second.
You're in second form.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. No, so Caleb, do you know somebody by the name of IShowSpeed?
Yes, please.
You know IShowSpeed?
Yeah.
Where you know IShowSpeed from?
Oh, YouTube.
From YouTube. Repeat, please.
Football.
And football, as you were saying.
Football.
And football. Okay. And football. Okay, because you love sports. I know you're a baller, man. So listen here. So how did you find out that IShowSpeed was coming to Barbados?
Well, I was talking to my friend to drive one day, right?
Let me come and sit beside you here, right? Let me sit down beside you here. Because yes, I want to see the comments because these parents here gonna have a problem now. Go ahead, Caleb.
I was talking to my friend to drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, Caleb, we know Speed coming to Barbados on Monday. He was like, yo, for real? And then I was like, that's because of me, right? I start the cat.
Because of you? What did you do?
Yeah. When I have my phone, right, I damn Speed on TikTok and say, when are you coming to Barbados? But then my phone broke. So I don't know if you play back or not.
So hold a minute. So you message Speed was sometimes?
Yeah.
And you hear back from him though?
Yeah. Hurts.
I didn't hear you.
Pardon me?
You hear back from Speed when you message him?
No, because my phone broke.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But I was told that he's very responsive.
Oh.
My brother messaged him whilst he was live. My brother messaged when he had a live though, that was before.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very responsive, I was told. Very responsive.
And when you responded to your brother.
That is correct, yes.
And so you felt that is because you invited him to Barbados.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I love it. That's Caleb. Very, very confident. Very confident. So go ahead, Caleb.
So, pardon me.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Right. So I said, if he could come to Barbados, and I asked him to me. And then at school, I dropped my phone.
Yes.
And it cracked. I was like, oh no. But not even gonna lie, at that point I forget all about the message. So
okay. So did you go out to see him?
I couldn't.
Why? Why not?
Because my granny had stuff to do.
Oh
dear.
So you were very sad about that.
Not really.
Why not? You weren't sad?
I mean, I was like bummed out, like, If you want to see what's funny to John? Well, you ain't speak for the whole stream yet. Yeah, right. You ain't introduce yourself, your new name.
Oh, so you were watching, you were home watching.
Yeah, I was watching the stream.
You were watching the stream. Now, why did you want to go and see him? What do you like about IShowSpeed? What about him do you like?
I don't. Wait, what?
Huh?
Oh.
What about IShowSpeed that you like?
Oh, well, IShowSpeed. You know, like football, like me. He's do other streams, and he like running.
He likes running. And you like those things because of the sports and the streams and so on. Okay, but you told me that so most of your friends like him at your school, like in your class. What percentage of your class would you say like IShowSpeed?
I'm pretty sure all of them do.
All of them. All of them like IShowSpeed. But you told me that your mother doesn't didn't really appreciate all about him. Everything about him.
I don't know why.
Huh?
I don't know why.
You don't know why?
Yeah.
So she never told, your mom has not told you why she doesn't really like him?
No.
Mm.
Give me one reason.
Is that your mother in the background?
That was Granny just now, but I'm right there too.
Okay. So you have
I
no.
can't hear.
Who is speaking?
You run behind Speed.
Oh, you have somebody else there who ran behind Speed?
Yeah.
Who is it? What's his name? Ajari?
Tajari.
Oh, yes, Tajari. Hey, Tajari, how you doing?
Wow.
You're saying that he ran from Oystins to Rockley Chapet?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot of running. Why did he run? Well, let me ask him. They have school, so I'm going to send them off very soon. Why did he run?
Good night.
Good night.
I ran because
I can't hear you.
I'm on the stream.
You wanted to be on the stream itself?
Yeah.
Okay, so you ran because you wanted to be on the stream itself. Yeah, and did you get on the stream?
Yeah.
You actually did?
That's beautiful. Yeah, 3 times.
You got. And how does that make you feel to be on the stream?
I don't want Huggy, but then the bodyguards.
Oh, you wanted to give him a hug?
Mm-hmm.
But the bodyguards the bodyguards were serious.
Yeah.
So if you had a chance to speak with Speed Tajari, what would you tell him?
I would tell you if I could collab.
To collab?
Collab. Yes, collab.
Hold a minute here. You hear these young people?
Of course.
How old are you, Tajari?
12.
And when you say you want to collab with him, what do you mean?
Like, make YouTube videos and stuff.
Oh wow! You want to make YouTube videos, and so
yeah.
you would have asked him, "Can I collab with you?" And did you just tell me how old you are? You just told me how old he is.
He said 12.
12.
Said 12.
You're 12, and you are interested in YouTube videos. So you want to make a livelihood out of YouTube videos. You want to make money from it and make a business.
Yeah, that's peace.
Wow.
Beautiful.
So you see him as this is an opportunity that you could make some money.
No, because I'm not old enough. But if I like turn 16 and the video blow up and I got a credit card, all the stuff can go to my YouTube channel. I can just transfer it in my credit card.
Oh,
There you go.
you all hear this child? He is 12 and talking about his credit card and transfer money to, and that is what a lot of people, they don't understand, you know, what he's doing. They don't understand what. Go ahead.
The avenues he's actually opening up. The eyes he's opening up. You know, someone made the comment here, little boy thinking business.
Thinking business.
You know,
Any questions you have for them, Ramon?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he knows about the credit card and how he's going to transfer some funds and so forth. How you would have learned about that? Caleb or Tafari?
Tajari.
Pardon me?
Because I was watching a lot of YouTube. I like search it up.
Beautiful. You researched it. Lovely. You're doing research. You know that's excellent. That's excellent. You know, I don't know if your mom is listening as well too, but I hope you weren't one that went into the sea with the school clothes.
No.
There are people who went in with the school clothes.
Some youngsters who would have gone into the sea with the school.
But let me.
Huh? But I didn't hear what he said. Sorry.
The me and my jersey, it was yellow.
Okay, beautiful.
I see.
No.
Yes. But a lot of people were saying too that you know, based on how they saw the young people running, we should have a great corrector team the next couple of years.
Right,
so,
right.
That's what they were saying, because you heard the distance in which they ran.
Yes.
All things to Rock Lee. So, you know, they said people were just making to the sport and say, you know what, we should have a good corrector team, because they did do some running following.
Yes.
And he's a lot of energy as well. You know?
Yes.
A lot of energy. The only thing that would have slowed him down was some of the food.
Yes. And But I know that I don't want to keep them long, because they have to get ready for school and all of that. But so I don't want to keep you very long. Anything, guys, you want to say to your parents, to the adults? Tajari, how about your parents? Do they have a problem with speed?
A problem with you?
Yeah, with IShowSpeed. Do they have a problem with him? Do they think he's a good influence or a bad influence?
A good influence.
Your parents think he's a good influence. But Caleb, you told me this morning your grandmother thinks he's a good influence, but your mom thinks he's a bad influence. Caleb?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know, do you agree with everything he does? Everything he does, you would want to do it, Caleb? Everything you see, IShowSpeed, everything he did here, would you want to do that?
Yep.
Wow, everything.
Beautiful.
Every single thing.
But he was hanging out of a bus. He was hanging out of a bus.
Yeah, hold on. I don't remember that part. Not that part.
Because you know that you shouldn't hang out of a bus.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Speed was hanging out of the bus while the bus was driving. So it's things like it's anything like that. I think your parents would be quite, concerned about.
You know, the funny thing about it, I saw that as well too, right? And IShowSpeed, he specifically said, "Do not do this. I am actually someone who trained in doing."
Oh, he actually says that.
Yes, that was.
Okay. And I've seen him in Africa doing things, and he would tell the children, "Don't try this at home." Okay. So he actually said that.
I saw that. Yes.
Oh, okay.
He actually did. Don't try it at home.
Yes. Anything else you want to say, Tajari or Caleb, before you go?
Wait, is it a live stream?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay, tell them that tell them green apple. Tell them green apple. Like, when you end in the shape.
What are you talking about? Green apple? What's that?
Yeah, that's how Speed is any shape. Green
apple. That's how we end the stream, by saying green apple. All right, so guys, green apple then. All right, so we'll chat again another time. I hope one of these evenings you know when you're off from school you can come and sit down and we chat together. Okay?
Okay.
Live in the studio. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Green apple. Green apple. Green
Apple. What is interesting on Marcia, and what I'm seeing a lot of the viewers in terms of the comments, they're accepting the change. This person here, they would have said that this is the future of jobs and work, things that connect us as humans. Since AI and robots will have an impact as well. So no guarantee with a degree. Yes.
There's no guarantee
with a degree,
right?
Yes,
but I still, as I said, my son, he did the eldest one, he did a degree in economics at UWI, but he is right now in LA working seriously in the film industry.
Oh, beautiful, excellent.
And so I talk to my children about having something in both hands.
Of course, very important.
Being ambidextrous. I always do like this to them.
Nice.
I have something here and have something here. Yeah. And so he is able to use the economics, and everything that he learned, to bring that to filmmaking and to be successful at it, because basically he is an entrepreneur.
That's why I always preface what I'm saying with, I am not knocking academia at all. Go to school, make sure that you get your degree and stuff like that. But also, above and beyond that, you can obviously filter into other avenues, but go get that degree. And the degree actually shows that you have a level of discipline to actually complete something. You need that level of discipline as well too. Late nights, tears, sweat. That is needed as well too. So it's a good journey towards, if you want to go beyond the usual box, the usual standard box that people usually are in sometimes. Right? I know a gentleman, he was into accounts. He was into accounts seriously, really, really, really seriously. And he was a financial analyst at a corporation. And he's actually into catering, so he sells bread, he goes.
Wow,
it's amazing. A real vast career shift,
Yes, but I mean, all of that accounting knowledge, I'm sure he's using it in his business
to balance his books.
Yeah, exactly.
So that balance is needed. That balance is needed, and it should be encouraged as well too. It should be encouraged. The only thing, I was a little disappointed that he didn't make it into the east of the country. Andrew constituency.
Yes.
You have the rural bars and so forth.
Yes.
But don't worry. He's IShowSpeed and I am IShow the Andrew constituency.
Yes.
So don't worry.
But I thank you so much, and we're waiting on Jamal, and I think he's having some challenges.
Yes,
he was just calling. Just calling. He might not be able to make it.
He was just calling.
Yeah,
actually having a call.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys. I mean, let's just switch gears, because I know I've kept you here a little longer because I was trying to wait on Jamal as well. But you have Shine Barbados.
Of course, Shine
Barbados. Tell us about Shine Barbados and what's happening.
At the end of the tunnel,
yes.
Shine Barbados. Really creative, and the youth, they come together to showcase their talents to the world. All right, so Shine Barbados has actually become bigger and better, and we want to give Shine Barbados and the committee and all the talent a little bit more time to settle into their roles.
So you have because I've been hearing that there are lots of people are getting interested.
Of course, last minute as well.
Last minute, so you're going to extend everything.
That is correct. We're going to extend, to become bigger and better.
Right. So are you changing the date of the performance?
Yes,
the competition?
we changed the date. But it's more rescheduled than anything else. Obviously, to give more time for promotion and so on, because it has really exceeded expectations in terms of the interest.
Right.
The interest.
I see.
Yes, of course.
So it's not going to be, remember we were announcing May 2nd.
That is correct. That is correct.
So it's not going to be on May 2nd for
Yes,
those of you who are
that is
planning,
correct.
getting your outfits, and you are ready to
Yeah.
go out because
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Right? So you are not, it's not May 2nd anymore. You're going to give us a new date.
That is correct.
Okay.
Give it a new date, right? But as you mentioned, our phones continue to go off,
Yes.
And, the support is real, the interest is real, and we come on the show, and each and every time after the show, more people are showing interest, calling on our way home. People calling.
Yes,
saying,
so you need more.
we
I
want
love
to
I
be a
love
part.
that you're taking
Of
more
course,
time
of
so
course.
that you can because you didn't expect all of this. So
Of
then
course.
now you're able to
That's
manage it well and
That is correct.
produce
That's
a
correct.
good show.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I throw Steve giving us a little encouragement as well too.
Yeah.
But we're really looking forward to this show. I can't. There's no words to express how we
Yes.
feel about this show and the creative spaces and the talent that will be on show.
Yes.
Some original songs as well in there.
Tell us more about the talent that we
Of
should
course,
expect.
yes. We have some singers. A lot of the songs will be original songs, songs from scratch, songs in which people would have produced, and they would have just started. The process of producing a rhythm or a song. It started with just a little drum bass, and they were able to develop, and they're able to voice on the rhythm and the song. And they're new songs. There's some extremely new, some like yesterday. So again, these are the things that we looked at and we said, no, we need to just reschedule and just give the artist some more time to practice and to execute their trade, play their trade.
Yes. So listen out for the new date, and I know that some of you are planning to donate, and so because it's going to be bigger, they're going to need. And I've been telling them, I've been saying to them, I think it's a little over $3,000 for the sound and the lighting and all of that.
Of course.
Yeah,
and not only that, we'd be looking to expand the prices as well too.
Yes.
Right? So all this we talked about and we looked at, and we talked with the talent and so forth.
Yes.
We want to do more
yes,
promotion where the talent is concerned, and they're coming on a little later, obviously, in terms of how the registration obviously would have been
right.
particular date.
But
But
Billy
after
John
that,
says a
of
day
course,
just last
of course,
minute.
of course. So we don't want a situation where anyone is at a disadvantage, in any way. So we want to give everyone the opportunity to come up there and do their utmost best. And we cannot wait.
Yes.
We cannot wait. We really cannot.
You're excited about it.
Yes,
But the
really
venue
excited.
remains the same.
That is correct. The venue remains the same. It's just a different date.
Yes.
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 No doubt
Yes.
about it.
Awesome. So folks, listen out for them, listen out for that. It's going to the venue remains the same, the date is changing, and they still need some sponsorship,
Of course.
y'all.
Of course.
So those of you, I know there's somebody who called yesterday and they said,
Beautiful.
I have some money for them.
Beautiful.
You
We're
know,
still on. We are prepared and we're looking to go.
you're ready to go.
Ready to go.
You're ready to go. Okay.
Prepared. Nothing else.
Yes. Well, Dave, we're getting ready to go to break, and I am hearing somebody. I hope it's not Jamal trying to.
I'm not too sure, but I know you have this.
Dave, anytime, over to you. Anytime, Dave.
Calling.
Let me see him. Come in, run in. Jamal is here. Jamal. Step over there. Step over. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Run it at your speed. Come in at your speed. Yeah. You can have that one too. At your speed. At your speed. That's his voice. At your speed.
But that's not my voice.
Yeah, but it's good. I know how it is. I know how it is. You have a lot going on. How are the exams going? Come on, we're a little bit more
I'll
about
be brutally honest on that part. We haven't had many exams at the moment or so far, but it is a work in process, because to me, more critical than the exams actually are the assignments, where some of them are 40%, 45, or even more. And yes, you can do well on the exam, but you need to do very good on the assignments. And the thing about the exam is, and I would say this to anyone right now, when it comes to understanding assessment, what you do on the test is determined on what comes to mind at the time. But what you do on how you do on the assignment is determined on how good you understand the information and the criteria. So for me, it is very much more challenging to worry about the assignments than the test. The test, you go, what you see, you remember, you put down, that's fine. With the assessment, you have to interpret, you have to be creative, you have to understand the information and not plagiarize yourself. So there's a lot more.
Yes, because they're testing for AI.
Correct.
Listen, that AI, they're testing for AI big time.
And I will tell you this. I've noticed even in something like legal and business frameworks, because I study a bit of law as well, you'll find that on the tests, I do very good. And sometimes in the actual write-ups and so on, you might have a lot of errors. And the thing is, it is going to show you that I'm not an AI person. Like, I actually understand it's a tool and I advocate for it. But for me, rather than know it, I know the information. So if I feel,
and they're gonna find out.
Oh yes, they will.
They're running it through AI. Even CXC, you know, I told my student, I said, do not go to AI because they are gonna find out.
Yes, they will. And honestly, I believe, I had a conversation just a couple of days ago. I believe that it's a good tool. But I think that if you use it the wrong way, you could find yourself in a situation where you kind of delay someone's growth. Because take, for example, let's say somebody's studying socioeconomics. And you just go on ChatGPT and you put in a prompt that says, as a master of socioeconomics and 20 years of experience and da-da-da-da-da-da. And you put down all this. When you take that information and you just put it in your own words, you are not learning this information. However, if you get mentored by an instructor 3-4 weeks on that topic, that information that you have internalized now is your understanding of the information. And I think that is where we start to fall short with the integration of AI. I think it's something that hasn't been integrated within our work or even our school force. And what that does is it gives the students a bit of ease. Instead of doing the homework themselves, just put it in ChatGPT. And we make sure that somebody's wrong just so that I could get a little and you would find as one. I don't want to put anybody up there, but I can tell you that I even see it in real time. I have a very awesome instructor when it comes to cultural ecology. And sometimes she asks you questions. In fact, not sometimes, that would be a lie. She asks you questions every single class before about the last class you had, which is the last week. And then at the end of this class, some improv questions as well. And you know what you have found? Since the integration of AI and since people started using it, the responses in real time are delayed. Some people actually, I hope I'm not putting anybody out there, but some people actually have issue answering questions now before it would have been easy, right? So what I'm saying is that as it goes on, you're finding that people are retaining less and less information on these topics. But I think this is not what we're supposed to be talking about.
No, that's okay. In fact, I know you guys have to go. But he was just telling us about Shine and that, you guys are going to reschedule. You're pushing it back a little bit because it's getting a bit bigger.
Push back, but yes, I would use the term level up.
Yes.
And the reason why we're leveling up is because we can't be here on this program and be telling people that this is their opportunity to shine. And then you have 7 more people that we haven't accounted for, and more are probably going to come as well.
Of course.
That we have to say, oh, well, we really only had plans for 10 at first. So, there's going to be a challenge with the reconciliation prices and so on. But what this does now, this gives me the chance to say, you know what? Let's get everyone that wants to be involved.
Yeah.
You know what? We don't want anyone to feel like, geez, I missed my chance. And I mean, it is a bit of a challenge now to have a workaround for it, but I believe that is going to be worth it.
It's good. It's good. So we're looking forward to that. So
most definitely.
I mean, we missed you tonight, and we miss Fanus. They miss Fanus. Fanus is a star.
Yes,
already they said, Damien, we're going to miss you. I mean, it's like
I honestly, I actually have plans to send videos, but was just so caught up before. So I actually have some videos here for the people that came through that were promoting the event and getting people to share. I'm going to send them off to Dave, and even if after we leave, you can still share them.
Yes.
Right. So it's not
Excellent.
a cancellation. It's not a delay. It's actually a level up.
Yeah.
We are seeing so much responses where this is concerned.
There's a movement.
Well, yes, that's it. That's really funny because we weren't expecting this. Honestly, it's something bigger than we imagined.
Yeah.
And even in town, getting phone calls. Yeah, Jamal, it's like got openings. Are you saying no? But it's a cheese on the man that showed me and tell me da. I said, all right, send the information.
Yeah.
And you find that even Ramon was with me. Can't remember this last week Saturday, right?
Last week Saturday.
I'm in the car. I just got a phone call. I don't know the number, but somebody contacted me and said, "Yeah, is it too late to join us?" This is what this talent person. So what it shows us is that people are reaching out. People are getting involved. We're getting responses, and it's kind of sad that we can't just throw everybody in group chat and we can't just we already set deadlines and so on. But now is the time that we say, you know what? We can make a powerful decision. We're going to expand.
Of course.
We're going to level it up.
Of course.
Yeah.
And let me just say, what was interesting, right? And you can attest to this as well too. You can be transparent here. Initially, when we obviously would have identified one of the risks, we were saying one of the challenges. We were talking about talent.
Yeah.
We're new, and where the talent would come from.
Yeah.
And it is amazing that that was one of the things that was not the problem at all. Talent would just call us on the regular, and we love the responses.
Yes. Well, guys, I mean, we wish you all the very, very best, and I know we're gone. What time? We've gone way over your time, so I know you guys have a lot to do, so I'm going to leave you to it. And Dave, we're getting ready. Can you put back the picture up? Yeah. Okay. Great. We'll put there. Right. Okay. Wonderful. Everybody, remember Shine Barbados, and we want you to remember all the sponsorship that they need as well, right? And they're leveling up. They need more money.
Well, we need any support you guys are willing to offer, whether that be more consolation prizes, because the numbers of talent have expanded, and any form of sponsorship would also help, because we have expanded for the opportunity to have DJs, and if they could, we actually get airplay for some of the artists to promote themselves, and we are looking at one or two producers who are willing to provide instrumentals, so that gives some of these artists or these first-time artists the chance to come and go in the studio and actually record instead of just doing it for fun. They will actually have a chance to make money from their creation as well, and that instruments can be donated and so on. So there's a lot that we're trying to accomplish with the level up.
Yeah, well, thank you all so much for joining.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your evening and study your books. All right.
Thanks for everybody.
All the best and all the best.
Ramon Goodman at Rack Shack Bar, Orange Hill, St. James. I'm here with lovely Jalisa. Jalisa, how are you doing, man?
I'm fine. How are you?
I bless up, man. Thank you. So, tell me a little bit about Rack Shack. What Rack Shack sells?
So, like you said before, Rack Shack is in Orange Hill, St. James. We do whiskey sours, rum sours, vodka sours, Tennessee sours, any sour, all you name it. We have soft drinks, water, banks, that ridiculous beers. Normally we have the kitchen open as well, but we're renovating. But we normally have finger foods, and we're celebrating 5 years next month.
Beautiful. So, what items people actually come back to?
People love the sours. Rat Shack sours are number one bestseller. So the logo says, "Shake the stress away."
Love it, love it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sports, creatives, and or small to medium-sized businesses must thrive in the St. Andrew constituency. See you soon. Ramon Goodman here at a small business in Chalky Mount, and I'm here with, what's your name?
Shanice.
Beautiful. And what's the name of your business, Shanice?
This is Pusha and Dali.
Okay, and what items do you sell?
Here we sell popcorn, chicken, and chips, loaded fries, chicken and chips, wings, pigtails, ribs, chicken and fish wraps, fish and chips.
What item are items people continue to come back here for?
You loaded fries, definitely.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you. These are guys, that looks so good. I get drop the location. What was the number again?
830-8520.
Say it again.
830-8520.
That looks so good. Thanks, man. Sports, creatives, and or small to medium-sized businesses must thrive in the St. Andrew constituency. See you soon.
Rise up, 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 my people, see the morning light. Rise up, rise up. Stronger together, Mama will claim our right. Together, be strong. Hearts united, hope burning bright. This is our moment, our future in sight. We've walked the valleys, we faced the storm. Still we are standing, proud and strong. With every trial, we've grown in grace. Now is the time, let us take our place. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. We never tire, no, we never quit. Our dreams are alive, we are made for this. With faith unshaken, our voices sing. Barbados rising, let freedom ring. From east to west, from coast to town, coast to town. Our island spirit will not back down, never down. Hand in hand, we'll build anew. The promise of tomorrow, shining through. A better tomorrow, the future is near. Hope in our hearts, no place for fear. God bless Barbados, we'll shine forever. Our turn is here, we rise together. A better tomorrow, the future is near. Hope in our hearts, no place for fear. God bless Barbados, we'll shine forever. Our turn is here, we rise together. We are one, we are one, we are strong, we are strong. Steadfast in belief, in love and peace, Barbados our song. We are one, we are one, we are strong, we are strong. Steadfast in belief, in love and peace, Barbados our song. Go on.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, we rise up, we rise up, we rise up, we rise up, Barbados, we rise up. What a wonderful, wonderful. You know, you could tell I love to talk to the young people, right? I'm sure you could tell that. Yeah. It's always a pleasure of mine, always a pleasure of mine. And I think it's important that we give them the time of day, you know, that we have that conversation with them. Well, before Mr. Strickland joins us, it is now it is what's the time? What's the time we we're doing with time? It's 8:26. 8:26, and he's gonna be joining us in 4 minutes. But I had all of these topics on the radar, topics that I told you that we were going to discuss. And obviously, I have not been able to do anything as yet because I was holding out, waiting on Jamal, and you saw how the show went, and we just started with the children who called in, etc. Because it's important that we hear from the children, and I think that I wouldn't go into. I don't think I'm going to go into the on the radar topics, but I just wanted to say to add some balance to what we were talking about a little earlier. I want to say that there are some things that we noticed, and you would have noticed it as well with IShowSpeed, that, you know, as parents, it makes it like, I don't really like that, you know, and so I do understand why some parents are having challenges with, you know, some of what was presented. For example, the hanging out of the bus, which he said, I was told now that he told the children that, you know, that is not, you should follow him because he does stunts, you know, and I have heard him, I also heard him in when he was in Africa, and there were some things he was doing, and he was actually telling them, you know, children, you know, don't follow, don't, this is not something you to do at home. So I think that all in all, you know, there's nobody. The best role models for our children, they should be us or their parents, you know. And so it's a teaching moment to sit down and to be able to talk with your children, you know, and to be able to say what, you know, you know, is he a good influence or bad influence? Okay, well, you know, son or daughter, this particular thing, I don't think that is right, but, you know, this other piece could work, you know, have discussions with them about it. I think that it is important that is done. Well, we have Mr. Strickland here, and let me read some of the comments because I didn't get to read them. I still have 2 minutes. Square Fella said, these fellows have the right attitude. As young aspiring politicians advertise the upcoming concert so people outside the political spectrum can come attend. Yes. And I hope you would attend as well. Okay? Hoping you would attend as well. Nina says, I agree with you, Marcia, about having both sides. But for those whom a degree is a heavy financial cost, alternatives can also help them level up. The opportunities will be there. This person says, that person asked if they played Speed, said no, but say they were following him when he had 10 viewers. This person used to play with the people all over the world, all through the night. Okay. Yeah, trying to read some of the comments. Excellent initiative, Ramon and Jamal. Yeah. Annette Brewster said, children of Barbados, get your education. What you see is all glitter. A lot of kids here in America missing in action at some. Okay, I can't read everything there. The degree gives a foot in some doors. Okay, is what Angela Knight is saying there. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, it's good for me. The last thing I'll say about it, I actually believe that some of what we are seeing in with our children, I believe that some of what we're seeing with our children really is as what we're seeing even in Barbados, where we're seeing a lot of the violence and we can't understand it. It seems so foreign to us. I actually do believe that part of that is what's happening, what we're seeing with speed. It's that generational gap where so many of us, we don't understand it, and part of it is because we're not sitting down and we're not talking to our children. We're not talking to the young people. We are judging them. We're saying, why you're running? And you shouldn't be running. We're asking why you're running, and not for them to answer, because we think that their running is bad, right? We think that the fact that they're running behind speed is bad. We have not asked them really, and really truly want to know, why are you running behind him? Why are you running on the street like that? We have not stopped to ask. A lot of us have not stopped to ask the question. We assume we know, and we say that is not right. And there's a lot of judgment. But as I said the other night, some of us are hypocritical. Some of you know yourself. Michael Jackson was, Black American living in the U.S., wear these jackets, and you were buying those Michael Jackson jackets. You remember? The red one and the black one with the zip, kind of like something I'm wearing right now with the zips and all of that. You remember that? Yeah, that's a Michael Jackson, and all the Jerry curl and coming down on your clothes, and you have to wear tissue around your neck and all. Michael Jackson. Yeah, that came from those celebrities and those musicians. So, don't be hypocritical, man. Don't be a hypocrite. And that's the thing that young people will tell you. They don't like people being fake. We've got to be real with them, right? When we start being fake, they turn off. All right, so we need to stop being fake, be real, listen to them, find out exactly what is going on, and have a discussion with them. My son is 23, and when it was over, we went out for a drive and we chatted about it, and we talked about what we liked and what we didn't like. You have to talk with your children, all right? But let's see. 8:33. Mr. Strickland, welcome again to the Marcia Weekes Show.
Good night, Marcia, and good night to those of the loyal opposition. It's a joy to be back tonight. I had never heard about Speed before. Never heard about him. And all of a sudden, our children turned on and they went nuts about him here in the house, and is like, who is this man?
In your house, Pastor Strickland? Pastor Strickland, in your house?
In my house, yes. Okay. And I mean, it's like, but it was important for me, as you just said, in tuning in, I got to see and understand first who he is, because as a Sunday school teacher, I believe it was critical for me to know, what they are seeing and whatever else. But I don't know how many people remember the Supremes.
Yeah.
The Supremes performed in Barbados when we became independent.
Mm-hmm.
And these were not children; these were adults who stormed the stage. And I think that everything collapsed in the careenage, so that we are quick to condemn this generation, not realizing that we had those same type of persons who were influencing us, and we behaved that way in Barbados as adults in 1966. You want something?
1966.
Yes, yeah, precisely. You want something when Barbados became independent, okay? So that it gave me an opportunity to see and to know what they're engaged in and be better able to guide them, you know, when I speak to them, and admitting that, you know, we as the older generation, we had, as you said, there was the Michael Jacksons, and now we have the Speeds, and there will always some person, but at least, you know, we are better able to guide them now that we know what they're seeing and doing and so forth. And it was not just the children that were running behind him; they were the tourists on the beach. If we look at it, they were the adults that were doing the same very thing. So don't condemn the children because they were seeing their parents doing the same thing. On Monday, I think it was when he was here. Okay.
On Friday. Friday.
Oh, it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. It was Friday. Now, okay, we're back now to national insurance, and you know, I really enjoyed the conversation with Dr. Frank Allen, dealing with the labor issues.
Derek Allen.
Yes, Derek Allen. The number of issues that he dealt with, and if I can go back then to pensions, it is critical for Barbadians to know that it is their responsibility to pay contributions, especially those who are self-employed. The reason being that there is a myth in Barbados which existed and continues to exist, that once, as we say, your neighbor string is buried here, you will get a pension in Barbados. That changed from the 1990s, okay? And therefore, we have a lot of persons who are going to work with employers, and as Dr. Allen said, even working with government and for government, like those, as he said, who are working in the botanical gardens, where no NIS is being deducted and paid in on their behalf. So that what happens is that employers are getting away with the responsibility of paying the employer's portion, which is over 13%. And therefore, it is convenient for workers to be taking home their full salary every week or every month. The legislation is very, very clear that the employer is responsible for making the full contribution to national insurance. They have the right to make the deduction when the salary is paid. If they fail to make that deduction, they're still liable for the full contribution and cannot deduct it at a later stage. But once an employee continues to work with an employer where no nationals is being taken out, then if and when it's reported, nationals will treat it as collusion between the employee and the employer. And this happens when matters turn sour between the employee and the employer. And I want to emphasize to self-employed people, you must pay contributions, because I believe almost every day there is a person who haven't applied for their non-contributory pension because they did not pay enough contributions as an employed person, paid enough contributions on reaching pensionable age, that from that interview, it will be discovered that they were self-employed. And the story that I was working with some person that were taking nationals and not paying in will not work, simply because at that point, many of those employers have either died, gone out of the business, and there's no way of you being able to point direct national insurance in a direction where they can investigate and find information to your benefit. So it's important, one, to make sure if your employer is making deductions, check with the National Insurance Office either directly or online to make sure that your contributions are there. But in the 2022 actuarial studies, it indicated that 1 out of 8, self-employed persons in Barbados were actually paying contributions. So when we think of the number of individuals who are selling coconuts and whatever else, whatever they're doing, and are not paying contributions, they're doing themselves a serious disservice. because on reaching pensionable age, many of them do not have much of a savings. And therefore, they can be a liability to their family members or to the state. And it's becoming worse and worse. National Insurance has set up a section, especially to engage persons who are self-employed. They're out in the field. So when there was a statement Friday night with Dr. Ali, Monday night, sorry, with Dr. Now Sunday, it was that they're no longer any inspectors. I posted that that's not true. So they not only have inspectors, but they have a section, and it's off the premises of the Frank Walcott building, where the staff are out there engaging the public, okay, who are self-employed to pay their contributions, okay? And I would want that person's either you go and pay or you get some person to pay, because it's going to be a very, very painful exercise when you reach pensionable age, and therefore you're not getting a pension. So I want to start
But can I
by
ask you
saying
a
that.
question there? Can I ask you a
Okay,
question there?
certainly.
Yes. I remember last week when you made a statement last week about this. You said that some of the self-employed persons that some, and I don't know if the person
Yeah.
had heard that it's some, that they are trying to cheat the system, and there are people who seem to have gotten a little annoyed at that you are
Okay.
assuming that they're cheating the system, and I think you attempted to address that, but I wanted you to address that directly.
Thank you very much. Now, and I will not apologize that there are those who seek to trick the system. Okay? Because if you have between 16 and 67, we are looking between 16 and 67. You might have started working at whatever age. Now, and you are self-employed, and in many cases, those individuals are self-employed for more than 10 years. Okay? And we are talking about that very often the contributions that they have are not self-employed contributions. They are contributions as an employee. So they were working with persons and they've been self-employed now for, in many cases, well over 10 years. Is it strange that you are seeking to be paying arrears of contributions where you are, say, 64, 65, and you are seeking to pay contributions so as enable you to have the minimum contributions to qualify for a contributory pension. And I'm saying in my books, that is being dishonest, because you have individuals who have been paying for 40 years, okay? And therefore, you've only paid the minimum to receive the same minimum contributory pension that that other individual is receiving, and you're going to be then getting that until you die, which could be for the next 30 or so years. That's unfair, and there are those who do not want to hear that they are dishonest in their attempt to pay arrears contributions. Now, if you are paying from the time you found out at age 65, okay, you will not have enough weeks to get the required amount. And I've had to deal with this now for over 30 years. We were dealing with that at National Insurance Office.
Yes.
There were always those who sought to trick the system, okay? And I've found that after paying the contributions, okay, because they should not have paid over and above in respect of in arrears. Yes, you go back 2 years. Some want to go back 4 years just to get the 500 contributions or 590 as it stands right now. So those persons, if they believe that what I said was for whatever else, that's the situation. If they are innocent, they have no problem. They shouldn't have no problem. Okay? If they're innocent, they should have no problem. But they need to understand that there are those persons who are not innocent of what I said, and I will always say it, because that is what this country faces, that persons, and it's not just those who are at the low income bracket. I'm talking about those who are in the high, lawyers, and so that's why. Let's Marcia, this started with the same Dr. Frank Allen. He was the chairman of the National Insurance Board. When he sought to have that rectified, it was not rectified during his tenure. It was rectified when Sir then, from the Barbados Labour Party. He was the chairman, okay? And it was rectified in his tenure. You want what I'm saying? And I'm saying that this is something that has that the department, because the central person are draining the system when it comes to pensions at the expense of other individuals. So I mean, that's what it's about. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody said, someone is reminding us that I think you wanted to say Frank Walcott.
No, not Frank Walker. Sir Henry Ford. No. It's Sir Henry Ford was the chairman when that legislation was passed in respect of non-contributors who were self-employed. It was more enforced at that time, but it started with Dr. Frank Allen, and then it was passed when Sir Henry Ford was the chairman of the National Insurance Board. Both of them were chairman of the National Insurance Board at different points of the scheme.
Yes, Frank Walcott was a trade unionist, right?
No. Well, Frank Walcott was a trade unionist where he sat. Because it was, the building was named after him because he was one of the ones who were the architects of the establishment of the National Insurance Department. But the Barbados Workers Union, of which he was a member, was always they always had a permanent seat on the National Insurance Board. Okay, so therefore he made a fantastic contribution to the National Insurance establishment from the inception. Okay.
Yes. Do you want to take any questions? Somebody, Neon
No,
Star.
I can take the questions, certainly.
Yes, Neon Star is asking, are contributions counted as monthly or weekly? So Neon Star and everybody else, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Go ahead.
Okay,
So that's
question number one. Okay. National Insurance earnings are recorded on the computer system in weekly or monthly. Okay. So that if a person is a monthly paid individual, then the employer will record them monthly. So there are 12 weeks, there are 12 months, in a year. If the person is a weekly person, the employer records them monthly. But National Insurance end up with the 52 weeks, because whatever you cut it, and therefore it comes back down. It comes down to weekly eventually, because the number of contributions they are then, in other words, the 12 weeks, the 12 months, are then divided by 52 and bring it to 52 weeks. So it comes back to the same thing. You want the same thing, to know the number of contributions. So whenever you hear contribution, that is a week, one contribution, 1 week. So whether you're paid monthly or not, it does not matter. You want the same thing. Okay. And that is and that is critical.
Yes,
you have another question, Marcia?
Yes, there's another one here. Aaron Hunt is asking, so if both the employee and employer agree that the employee receive all their salary or wage, would that be a problem?
It is a problem. National Insurance, and that's why I have a problem with what government is doing in respect of those, say, in the National Botanical Garden, because the National Insurance Department, not government, holds the right to determine who is self-employed and who is employed. I actually had a fact sheet that I would have had when I was working. I was looking for it this morning and I have not found it. But Dr. Aline referred to it when he was speaking, in that there are the questions that are asked for National Insurance as a department to determine if the person is employed or self-employed. Now, one of those questions is whether the employee has control over his hours of work. Okay. Now, next, the tools. Does the employee has control over the tools? And in the case of those in the Botanical Gardens, the Weewak and so don't belong to them; they belong to government. Okay. Now, can are you profiting from the business? So if you are directly profiting, I'm not talking about salary. If you're not profiting from the business, then you can't be self-employed. Okay? Can you be disciplined? Because if you're self-employed, you cannot be disciplined. So if the individual can discipline you, then you can't be think, okay, do you do you have any control over your hours of work? Okay, what is the span of control? Okay, who do you report to? So if you are reporting to some person, if you are answering these questions, okay, in the negative, then you can't be self-employed. You are employed by by that individual as an employer, and national holds the right to make a determination. Unfortunately, there have been times when national insurance, especially when we had the ash workers, you know, national insurance did not give a ruling on the category that those persons should fall under. I would have thought that by now that has been rectified. But if government is still having persons working, as I said, in the botanical gardens and other places where they do not have, they're not, contributions are not being deducted, then it's a problem. Let me give you one good example. What happened? We had the ash workers were on for, I think, about 2 years or so. When it was determined that they were going to end the contract, national was never deducted from them. Government went back and paid 6 months of national insurance for the for 2 quarters, because within within 3 quarters, you needed at least 20 weeks, 7 being in the last quarter. So they went back and paid for 2 quarters, not 3 quarters, so that you were able to get 26 in the 2 quarters, giving them, because they had a whole mass of persons that they would have employed with this program to enable those individuals that they can get unemployment. Okay? Now you're going to tell me whether that was fair or unfair, where government then went and paid the employer's portion only for 6 months of that period of time. And then one can check the records of any of those persons who were working to see if they had contributions for the full period or only for that 6 month period. You want what I'm saying? So, but the national holds the right to determine that, and therefore, once a person goes to the department, nationals will investigate the conditions and whatever else to determine X, Y, and Z. Whether they have the not the legal power, but they have the power to get the employer, especially if it's government, to work within the law. It's a different matter altogether. But the department does all within its power to make sure that these things are done.
Yes. Thank you for that, Mr. Strickland. Someone else has a question here. They're asking, a self-employed person can also make the decision to save towards pension. NIS needs to get their act together. What guarantee do they have that there'll be funds for the very same persons who contributed?
Okay. It's a very interesting question, and I like that question. I like it a lot, because there are many who determined that it was better for them to save their money so that when they reach pensionable age, they will have enough to support them for the rest of their lives without a pension from national insurance. And I would say this, that only about 5% of self-employed people get that done. Only about 5%. I have 40 years of experience. So for those who prefer to do that, I would encourage them not to do it. But now, the next part of the question, whether there'll be enough money there, Nationals is going to be celebrating 60 years next year. And for these 59 years, there have always been money there to pay pensions. There have never been a case where in Barbados there was any hardship to pay pensions or any benefits. I can say there are other countries in the Caribbean.
Late, because sometimes the pensions have been late.
whenever they've been late, it was never a case where there were not funds. Never a case where there were not funds. There have been cases with other matters, with pensions being late, but never because there was a shortage of funds. Okay?
Yes.
But I can say that, like in Antigua and other Caribbean and other countries where their social security schemes collapse at times, you want to say, Barbados have never had a case where our national insurance collapse. They've always, because a lot of the money that the national insurance invests is the excess, is the excess. So the fund stands at over $4 billion right now. In respect of what was written off, it still stands at over $4 billion. I don't know the exact figure, but I can say to any person without contradiction that because it was over $5 billion, and National has an investment section, especially for the investment, both local, Caribbean, and international. That's the proud record that the National Insurance Barbados has.
So they shouldn't worry. And I think I can understand some of the fear, though. Mrs. Strickland,
I understand.
heard about them written off, and they don't know, and people have gone different. Governments have gone into the pension money and NIS money and all of that. So they get worried. But I'm still waiting on some more questions, so you could continue.
No problem. I will continue. And as I said, whenever I say something, my reputation is on the line. You want to say, and therefore I am conscious of what I'm saying, and I can find the figures to support what I'm saying, because I spent a period of time today in the office. You know what I'm saying? Trying to help some individuals that were seeking to have benefits done. And therefore, I sought to go there today and also to speak to some of the staff, because we are still, very much together. Okay. Now, so that I said, for pensions, it is important for Barbadians really to pay contributions and make sure, don't wait till the last minute, make sure that your earnings are on the computer system, that they are being deducted. But we have a serious problem in Barbados right now where we have a lot of, let me say, non-nationals, whether they be Chinese, whether they be those from Colombia. We have a lot of them in Barbados. And recently I came across a post where this lady, she didn't call the Caribbean country, but she said, I believe it is St. Vincent. So we have an influx of persons coming into Barbados, and a lot of them are not paying contributions. Okay. And we have to understand that they are going to be accessing our medical services in the public thing, because you can't deny a person public health care, education, and all these sorts of services. So that when David Thompson said many years ago, and this was his statement, he said all undocumented non-nationals should leave Barbados. He did not specify any nationality, because we had a serious problem at that time where there was you had no idea of how many non-nationals we had in Barbados who were here illegal. You want what I'm saying? Okay. And at that time, a lot of them were Guyanese. No, they're not Guyanese. They're other nationalities. And therefore, we have to be conscious that these persons not only are coming in and maybe taking jobs that Barbadians may have, they are not paying contributions. And therefore, they're going to access all of our social services. And we must be very, very careful of it. We must be very, very careful of it. Okay?
You see? Wow. And wow. But you're saying we're to be careful of it. What can we really do?
What can we do? It would have to be a case of the change of mindset, maybe those who are in charge. And unfortunately, the Minister of Labor, I don't hear him addressing that issue at all. I don't hear him addressing that issue. I could be wrong, but I'm not hearing him addressing that issue. And obviously, the leader of the Barbados Workers Union, I'm not hearing her address that issue either. You know what I'm saying? And they're the two that I believe should be addressing the issue and not denying individuals the opportunity to come to Barbados. Yes. I welcome them coming, but to make sure that they're paying their fair due, you want to say, towards the development of our country. Yes. Their fair due. You You want what I'm saying? Because that is reasonable. If a Barbadian is living in another jurisdiction, whether it's in the Caribbean or otherwise, you have to pay your due. Okay?
Yeah.
Because if you get ill or whatever else, you're going to access their services, and therefore that's common across the world. We have too many in Barbados right now who are not paying their due.
Wow, I'm hoping. I know the government, they listen to the show, so I'm hoping that they're taking notes and realizing that this could be of concern to the citizens. And there's not what can we do? We don't even have anybody there in the in the opposition as a leader of the opposition or anything. So this is where we bring these concerns. But there is a question that it's got moved from. Let me just try and get the question here. Okay. It said, I heard Mr. Strickland said something about the people who came out of medical and is getting monies. And when these people reach 65 or 67, all of it would stop. Why didn't the NIS tell the people before?
That's not the responsibility of the National Insurance Department. The National Insurance Department says that because those persons that are individually speaking about are sorry, former public officers, not those in the private sector. Those are former public officers. Okay. So that those persons are persons who would be medically boarded prior to age 67. So they would automatically receive a pension, the invalidity from the National Insurance Department. Okay? Because the Prime Minister made the decision that they should get both the Treasury pension and the invalidity pension, which, as far as I'm concerned, is illegal because those individuals would have joined the public service after the 1st of September 1975. So for those who are working and reach age 60, they're only going to receive one pension, which is the Treasury pension. They can't get a pension from National Insurance at the same time. The question is, why should some person who is medically boarded at age 60 or before be allowed to receive both? But fine, they are receiving both. Okay? That person reaches 67. The Treasury stops all pensions at age 67, irrespective of who you are. Once you're receiving a pension from the Treasury, at age 67, your pension will stop. Okay? You apply to National Insurance for your pension. If the pension from the Treasury is less than what you are getting from getting from National Insurance, or you were getting from National Insurance, you will be no longer getting a pension from the Treasury. If on the other hand, the pension you're getting from the Treasury, okay, they've stopped it. But if it was more than what you're getting from National Insurance, you will get the difference. So it is not the National Insurance Department, it is the Treasury, which also falls under the National Insurance. Yes, no, as it were technically, but actually it will stop because you're not entitled to two pensions. Okay, but you were granted two, sorry, up until 67. Okay,
67.
So but National Insurance, National as a department does nothing in relation to this matter. They have no business in this matter. It is the one coming from the Treasury. So therefore, if an individual has an issue, well, then we'll have to take it up with the Treasury, and they don't have a case at the Treasury either. I think what the Prime Minister, what the Prime Minister or whoever determined that they should have the two pensions should have said to them, okay, you're going to get these two pensions, but at age 67, if you came in after the 1st of 1975, one will be stopped.
Right. I know you've been saying that. No, so thanks for the reminder. One will be stopped.
One will be stopped.
There's another question here, but before I read it, remember now, guys, that we have our phone line open, only WhatsApp calls. You can call us. You can talk about any matter. I won't put Mr. Strickland in the hot seat, but he's here to do with NIS, and I know he will jump in on anything else. But some of the other issues that we were going to talk about, which I didn't get a chance to, for example, the River Bay crisis. We want to talk. If you want us to have a discussion on that, you have a question about that, you can call in. I did mention the shooting that occurred in Wildy. You can today. Somebody else died. Mr. Strickland.
I
In
I I heard that.
yeah.
And Marcia, there are two things. Well, as a as a Christian and as a church minister, and most of all as a Sunday school teacher, okay, um, there are certain things that we have to understand in our country. Two things. One, the Bible says that wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways by taking heed thereto according to God's word. I know there can be those who says, why you bring this on this show? This is the place for it. Okay? We can have all kinds of programs and whatever else.
Yes, sir.
Until individuals recognize that any individual who makes a car or any appliance write a manual. And the manual for living is the Bible. And if we do not expose our children to the gospel of Jesus Christ at the young impressionable age, and if you go into countries like St. Lucia where it's Catholic and so forth, we will see some of the difference to some extent. Not that they don't have crime and violence, but I'm saying that unfortunately, too many of our children, the parents themselves, unfortunately, the younger ones, and I'm not condemning them, they never really went to Sunday school to some extent. So the schools have suffered tremendously since COVID. And therefore, it is not what is happening now. It is what is likely to be happening in the future. And therefore, if it's the sugarcoat situations, I would pray that it would rectify what we have. But if you are appealing to individuals who see right as wrong and wrong as right, then we're going to continue to have the same problem. I am passionate about that because I will say this, as I said before, Bishop Rufus Brooms, over 30-something years ago, said that the answer for Barbados was in the Sunday school. Dame Sandra Mason, in her 2022 Christmas or New Year's message, Old Year's message, said the same thing. The last minister of crime, Corey Lane, he said the same thing. So, unfortunately, we are trying to address certain things with fancy talk, and we are not seeing the results from the fancy talk. That's the reality. Okay.
You're right. That's what's happening.
Okay.
Well, I tell you, well, I would love to chat with you some more on this. There is a question here. We have one more NIS question here on the screen, and then I want us I want us to talk about this shooting incident today, because I did mention that we're But the person says, can the national insurance do anything about government constantly putting their hands in the NIS funds?
Okay. National insurance from 1967, the finances were managed by the board, and now that national is a statutory corporation, board, whatever else, from the 1st of December 2023. The board continues to manage not only the fund, but it now manages the recruitment and management of the staff. Okay.
Yes.
The composition of the National Insurance Board must follow ILO standards. That being that the National Insurance Board was and is and must be tripartite, consisting of government, the employer, and employees. There are 9 members, as it were, on the board. There are 2 members of the board representing the Barbados Workers Union and the NUPW. So any decision in relation to the finances of the board fell under the responsibility of those two individuals representing the contributions paid by employees of Barbados and self-employed persons to the scheme.
Yes.
There must be two persons representing employers, that being the Barbados Employers Confederation and the Hotel Association. The Honorable Colin Jordan represented the Barbados Employers Confederation on the board prior to assuming office for many years. Okay, so he knows clearly the responsibility. National insurance is a social security scheme so that the chief labor officer, a public officer, sits on the board. National is a financial institution. The director of finance, who at present, based on my knowledge, is Mr. Ian Carrington, who was the director of the National Insurance Department. These are 6 individuals representing 4 interest groups: the employees, employers, the Labor Department, and finance, the Ministry of Finance, as it were. There are only 3 political appointees, which are the chairman, deputy chairman, and one other employee, one other board member, which means that there are 6 individuals who should and can object to any attempt to take money from the fund for purposes other than is designed under the national insurance legislation or whatever else. So that once monies were taken, that $1 billion, whenever that happened and when it ever happens, those persons must take responsibility for that decision also. Okay? Now, there are monies lent by the department, and it is critical that those money be lent so that they not only can receive interest, but very often those monies go towards projects where individuals get jobs and pay contributions, whereby money comes back into the scheme from the contributions. But there's that safety net for the scheme that does exist. Whether it functions is another matter. Okay, Marcia?
Yeah. You know that I remember when Caswell was on, he was he was explaining as you were talking, I was remembering some of what he was actually saying. And whether those are supposed to be controls that are there, right?
Yes, they are.
But it's whether are people, are they following what they're supposed to do? Are they following the regulations, the rules? Are they bold enough to speak up? Those are some of the challenges that we have. Do they, are they worried about their own jobs? Or their position then?
But Marcia, if Toni Morris sits as the representative of the Barbados Workers Union, but she sits in Parliament as a member of the ruling party.
Yes.
To whom does she show loyalty? We have the director of finance. The question is whose loyalty is there to? You want to say? I'm not casting any aspirations, but they're question marks. You want to say? I'm saying, okay, they can be the persons, because individuals belong to political parties, and they should. You want to say? But when you sit on the board managing the fund of every Barbadian, I think you need to draw the line. And I can say this, that Frank Walcott was a member of the Democratic Labour Party. Bobby Morris was. Evelyn Graves was. I mean, all of those were members of the Democratic Labour Party. But if you look at the history of Barbados, when those persons sat, when it came to labor and the workers of Barbados, there was a line drawn in respect of them representing. You want to see what I'm saying? So, and these were all persons that were members, and anyone. So Frank Allen was the chairman of the National Board, a member of the Democratic Labour Party. Sir Henry Ford of the Barbados Labour Party. Those were persons that stood up for the workers of Barbados when it came to, but unfortunately, I think that this new dispensation, we are not having the kind of commitment that we saw in the past. You want something?
Right. Yeah. So, boy, I tell you, this is one of the reasons, Mr. Strickland, that we, here on the Marcia Weekes Show, we do what we do because it is. Can you imagine? We don't officially, we don't have a one party state officially. That's what they would want, right? But but can you imagine if this what we're experiencing here is left to to just deteriorate into something like that? Because people are just so afraid to speak up, or they have chosen not to speak up in order to protect their side, their political party. They've chosen to be partisan. And I love the way you put that. They are sitting over the funds to all Barbadians, regardless of whatever party they represent. And we would only hope that they would do the right thing.
Precisely.
Yeah. But as I await some more questions here from the audience, I just want to, in the comment section, a lot of people have been writing in the chat, but I want to remind you that you can call in 236-7000 if Dave can put the number up for me. Please, I'd appreciate that when you get some time. And I want to encourage you to call in. But I want to take our attention a little bit because I had announced it, and I have you on here. I know you are a community person. You're you're a reverend. You have children. You are concerned about your country. Where do I start? I'm concerned, Mr. Strickland, about the number of unsolved murders in Barbados. I really am. It's not, and this is something that it keeps me up. I'm thinking about it. I think about it because we've lived, I'm Jamaican, lived in Jamaica. We lived in New York. Places where you have all of this, you're also supposed to have all this crime, etc. But if you have a murder, right, you will hear them, they'll come and they say that they're looking for this suspect and so on, and they come and they give you an update, right?
Okay.
They give you an update on these, on what is happening, so you know what is going on. And here in Barbados, you don't get many updates, and you get the sense, and somebody can correct me. I would love to get some understanding on this, that they have not gone too far they haven't progressed in the investigation, and I'm not sure. Is it that they're not communicating it to us? Or it is that they can't catch these people. They don't have the resources. What are your thoughts on that, Mr. Strickland? Am I bringing you in muddy waters?
No, you aren't. My first assignment in government was working at the police department. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked 1.5 years at Central Police Station, so I would have worked around police officers and so forth. Okay. And the first thing that we have to be conscious of as a country is that we have a serious shortage of police officers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that did not start yesterday. Okay. This was way back when Grantley Watson was Commissioner of Police. Okay. And at present, I think we are standing at well over 100 shortage of police officers.
What?
Yeah, it's over 100.
You sure about that? What did you say?
Marcia, I can get the, I could easily, and maybe the head intel was 200. Okay, now we would have heard just recently that there were.
Hold a minute. You're jumping over that too quickly. Are you saying that we could be over 100 short police? I can't even 100 policemen short, or police officers short in Barbados.
I would love someone who is in the chat who may have the correct information to post it. We have that many shortages in the police force. Just recently, we had a big intake of police officers. The police departments out there having, there was one in Spicestown last year or early this year. I think early this year. They're always at the career showcases and so forth. But we have two problems in Barbados, okay? One, parents are not encouraging their children to join the police force.
It's true.
Yes, I'm telling you. If you have to ask most parents today, would you passionately encourage your son or daughter to join police force? It is not so much of a shortage maybe of women, of men, of your sons. They were told no, he's not going in there. I was at a town hall meeting with Bertie Hines when they were having the was having a consultation in respect of what they put out. And Bertie Hines said that he was interviewing a police officer, and when he asked the individual asked him what was his starting salary, and when he gave the person the starting salary, the person says, "Sir, that can't buy Timberlands." Okay, now just like the air traffic controllers, they have difficulty because of the salaries being paid. And Michelle Russell spoke to that issue in her article in the Sunday Sun. We must be realistic in Barbados that when we had regrading many years ago, he said that the policemen were not special. So these are the things that have contributed towards the lack of interest in the police force. Okay, when it comes to resources, yes, they are providing maybe more resources, but as much as you have a situation where you have an intake of 40, on the other hand, you have those that are exiting the police force en masse. Because, okay, you're in the police force and you've done 10 years. Okay, these are the facts. You're in the police force and you've done 10 years. And there's a job opening at a hotel for chief of security. Okay, are you going to stay in the police force to receive the salary that you are getting? I worked at National Insurance for 35 years and got one promotion. Now, these are the facts. These are the facts. We can get on this show and we can do whatever else. But the reality is that police officers are not properly compensated. That's why you have so many of them are moonlighting. Okay?
Yes.
So many of them are moonlighting because, they have families to feed like any other person. So we can, and then, but most of all, when it comes to the solving of crimes,
yes,
does the police service get the support of the public? Young people around me will tell you point blank, snitches get stitches. Thank you very much. That's the mindset.
But Mr. Strickland, can I pause you there? But that is not just a Barbadian thing. That is all across the world.
Precisely.
So it's not unique.
The person are afraid. Yeah, person are afraid to give information. So I'm talking about the police can only solve very often if they get the kind of support that they need to solve some of the crimes. Okay, because the police officer I was speaking about that was in the police force and left the police force and is chief of security now happens to my brother. And I'm telling you that I know of a lot of police officers who have left the police force, are either self-employed or they're working somewhere else now because the salaries being paid, they are not attractive. Not for what the police has to do. on a day-to-day basis to protect you and I. Okay? No. Right? So let's get something and properly compensate them, and they may attract more individuals to join the police force. But I'm going to try to get the figures in respect of the shortage you want some, because the figures are there. I'm going to get them for another show.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know that there's a shortage, but when you think of it in hundred, like between one, it could be even 200 shortage. I mean, wow. But so are we really safe?
I would have to say yes. Under the circumstances, okay, we are relatively safe because, even Marcia, we've had police officers that work for elections, and they were having difficulty getting the monies that was owed to them for elections. You have police officers that work for Kerry Feston and for Crop Over and whatever. They are, some of them are paid, for working at special events, and then have difficulty getting their money. I'm telling you, right?
So, wow.
So therefore, I'm saying that there are those things, but I would say that we are still safe. Okay, right? And we are relatively safe. Okay, we are not immune to whatever is going on, but we are relatively safe.
Yeah, because I mean, I can understand in a small place like Barbados, a small country, why it is so difficult. Why can't we solve murders? Why we can't? And I'm speaking generally. I'm not saying all of the cases are unsolved, but to me, it's just too many. And there's another theory that I have, and another theory. You don't even have to on it. But my theory is that I believe that there is also some kind of interference. There is corruption. Let's put it like that. There is corruption. I believe that in addition to what you have just stated, that there is some kind of corruption. There are some things that you ever heard that I can't say on air. I'm asking the question, but some of the questions I have answered. I have, I could say a few things. That I think that there's a lot of there's interference. Some of it is political. Some of it is the police. Some of the police, they're bad. Some of them are bad cops. They're corrupted with the gangs, with the criminal elements. Politicians mixed with the criminal elements. Business people. There are certain business people, certain ethnic groups that are connected to a lot of the criminal elements, and therefore those people are they're protected. They know they're protected because there's a politician involved, or a business person, or they are of a particular ethnic group. That's my view.
Marcia, and I do agree with you in that having worked with around individuals,
yes,
I saw for myself where persons felt they were protected, and therefore they felt at ease to do certain things. Okay, but both ethnic and otherwise. We have a situation when you look at the police service, and any person can. We just would have heard that the former deputy commissioner of police has retired, and I think another assistant commissioner of police has retired. Now, the deputy commissioner was the deputy commissioner prior to the present commissioner of police being appointed as to act or to become the commissioner of police. Okay. Irwin Boyce was the deputy commissioner of police. Okay. When the position became vacant, the present commissioner of police was appointed as commissioner of police, even though he was junior to Irwin Boyce. Irwin Boyce, in my opinion, was better qualified than
Okay.
The present commissioner of police.
Okay.
And these are things that are there. This is not a question. The former commissioner of police that became a consultant to the police service.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a situation where frustration, I believe, would have built up for Irving Boyce. I'm not speaking for him, but I'm saying to you that I believe if he had been appointed as commissioner of police, he would still be in the police service at this present moment. And
Yes.
just
With a
like
lot of knowledge, a lot of experience.
and just like myself, I retired from the public service at age 55. So I'm one of those who retired at 55 because I saw no benefit to continue working at the National Insurance Department when individuals were coming in with a degree where the 2007 Public Service Act changed the playing field to become my supervisors and whatever else. So I felt it was not to my advantage to remain at the National Department, and it is happening all across the public service, whether at the Customs Department and all across the public service. A lot of good public officers are retiring and going home earlier than they might have intended to. So 60 is the buzzword. As soon as I reach 60, I'm gone.
They're gone.
And they're carried out. And at 60, many of them already have 40 years in the public service. Because if you join the public service at age 20, okay, and you cannot receive your pension until age 60, it means that you pass your 33 and 30 years long ago, because you have to work up to 40, up to age 60. So you have put in 40 years. What benefit is it there to you to continue after 40 years where your pension is still going to be the same, your gratuity is still going to be the same? Why are you going to continue? So the public service is losing. So last week, when I said that the statement by the Honorable Sandra Husbands that you want person to retire early, how that's going to happen? So I'm saying that there are a number of things. So within the police service, during the last general election, there were those candidates who were parading with individuals boldly in public who have questionable characters and whatever else. Okay, that's a reality. So that person may feel that they have the right to do what they do because they are covered by some person.
Because of their connections.
Precisely. During COVID, we all know what happened in Ferniehearst. We all know what happened in Ferniehearst, where an individual had an their establishment was had out there eating, whereby the police service was called in. The person made a call to the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister said point blank, but a lot of people have my number, and therefore the police left the scene without doing what they could have done to ensure that seating area outside was shut down. So I'm saying that these are things that are there which would have happened, and let us not pretend that these things did not happen and that this is what affects. So when I heard that Irving Boyce has now retired, honest truth, that hurt, because he's an excellent police officer, an excellent police officer. You know what I'm saying? But what was there for him to benefit, whereby someone stepped ahead of you because there's an interview process, and the question is, was the position guaranteed for a person before the interview? Okay, and it was a slap in the face to Irving Boyce.
But what do you think? Let's be honest here, because you see, this is part of the what's going on, and we pretend, we pretend and say we don't understand what's happening with crime, what's going on. And we focus on those those that we see in the wanted pictures that we're putting up. That let me try and get this up on the screen.
So
those who are wanted, we can't even see their faces. I guess they will have to fix that for us.
Okay.
But focus on those little black boys there, and we're not thinking about all the linkages. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see that being addressed. So are we really serious about this? Is what I was speaking to a young lady today, actually, and I was saying, are we really serious about dealing with this crime, this escalation in crime, in gun violence? Because if we're not addressing these linkages, if we're not seriously looking at it, we could forget it. It's not going to work. What are your thoughts, Mr. Strickland?
Okay. When we had the triple murder at Thunder Bay, okay. I don't know if person know where Thunder Bay is, but Thunder Bay is right opposite constituency office. Okay. I don't get it. Right next to a constituency office.
What is the
And the person who
constituent?
knows,
Who's
hello?
it? Which
St. James North.
St. James North. Is that that is Chad Blackman or
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay.
oh,
Now, in Sears Court, when there was a shooting the next couple of days, there's a constituency office just a matter of yards up from that location. Okay. That's the Mr. Abram. His constituency office is just up the road from the Sears Court, the care center. Okay. So these are two activities that were relatively close to this. I'm not trying to pin anything anywhere. I'm just saying to you, just okay. Now, I would have heard the commissioner of police speaking right after the Thunder Bay murders, and I was tremendously impressed by what he said. I said to myself, did he write it or someone else wrote it? I'm not saying he didn't write it, but I was very impressed with the strong language.
The commissioner of police?
Yes, right after the Thunder Bay. But then when I heard the Honorable Michael Ashley speak, when he said the police will be allowed to do all within their power, I asked myself the question, so were they always allowed to do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he recognized what he actually said. He said the police will be allowed
I
to
remember
do.
hearing that. Yes, he actually.
And I asked myself the question, were they always allowed, or were their hands tied and they're now going to be allowed to? I think he chose his words wrong. Okay? Okay? And I'm saying to you that the statements that are made very often, you can see right through some of them. It's only a matter of optics. It's only a matter of optics. Because it's like I always say it's like a cuckoo clock. You know what cuckoo clock does? It comes up cuckoo, cuckoo, and goes back in the hole. Comes up again, cuckoo, cuckoo, and back in the hole. So whenever these things happen, you can always find some individual coming out and saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that, we're going to change the legislation, we're going to do this and next. And then the same thing continues the very next day. There's another shooting, there's another whatever else. So rather than telling us what you're going to do, I want persons to do it. Don't tell us what you're going to do. Just do it. Okay? Right? So I think that Barbadians are not confident that they're doing the best that they could because of promises that would be done.
Promises made, and we're not seeing any, and we're not seeing the arrests. We're not seeing, but then we're hearing about more shootings. We're hearing about more murders. We're hearing, and I think Barbadians, we need to have. I don't know how do we get this across to the authorities of that. What can we actually do? Because to me, the citizens, we are the citizens. We're like sitting ducks. How we say your prayers, you go to bed, and you pray and have faith that all is going to be well with you and your household and your neighbors and your friends, etc. But if we do not believe there is a real serious commitment by those in authority, by those in government, by those in the force, in the police force, that we are going to deal with this escalation in crime in Barbados. We are coming together. We are committed. then I am telling you, this is we could, I'm not saying don't pray, because I believe we must always pray, but something is drastically wrong. And we're not going to see much happen, Barbados. It's the truth. I am telling you, you're not going to see much happen if you're not going to address these politicians that are connected to the criminals, politicians' relatives, your nephews and your godsons and your god this and your whatever connected. You understand? Or you're not going to go in certain communities. These people over here, they wear their long clothes and whatever, the Muslims, the Indians. I'm speaking straight tonight. If we're not going to address those issues, we are wasting time, Barbados. And it's time to me that we understand that. We're going to get up, and the next 2 mornings, another shooting. Last week, it was close to the nursery, remember?
I'm saying, escort the nursery in Christchurch. Okay. Marcia, but there's something that, because I must go back to the whole issue of community.
Mm-hmm.
Community. We did not get to where we are overnight. Okay? And we're not going to go back from where we are overnight. Okay? This is the reality. Now, it means that we're going to have to address the whole issue of being concerned about our neighbors. Okay? Knowing who you want. But we've become unfortunate. For some persons, I will always go back to the word of God, where God said, look, you are increased.
Yeah.
And you say you have no need of anything, and I'll put in there and anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But God said you're wretched and poor and blind. And therefore, we've got to understand that because we have become affluent and whatever else, that
Yes.
we don't need other individuals. But those individuals know that because you as individuals don't care about one another, I can easily move in and move out. You want. So we have to be more concerned now. Yes, I do agree with you in respect of persons who are of other ethnic whatever else, because we would have had a picture there of the Prime Minister just before election day coming on the steps at the mosque in Kansas New Road. Okay?
Yes.
Okay? That was a picture that was up there before coming on the steps just before election day. Okay? When women are not allowed in that mosque with their heads uncovered. But I'm saying to you, there are certain things that we do not have much of a control over. We'll pray about them and whatever else. But the things that we have control over, and that is within our communities. Okay? So you have individuals who are terror to those in their own community, where to their aunts and their uncles, and they're inflicting this on their own community. You want to say I'm saying? I cannot excuse their actions on politicians. They must take responsibility. Okay? When you're harboring your relatives or whoever else from the same police officers. Okay? This is what happens in Barbados. Okay?
Yeah. In some of the cases, I can tell you though, there was a case up in St. George, where trying to choose my words because I'm going to tell you facts, but I want to choose my words very carefully.
Okay.
So let me say that there was a case that we are very familiar with. Okay. And where the people in that particular community, they were reaching out to the police. They were.
Okay.
Yes, they were reaching out to the police, and they were telling the police what was happening, that they were being terrorized by some individuals in that parish. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
And you know what? It is being alleged that those police officers were told to stand down by a particular politician.
Wow.
So while we're calling, I'm telling you, there's a chronic, there's a chronic issue, and this is why you see what you see happen on election. When you have politicians driving around in the back of a pickup truck on election day, with elements, people in the community look and they say, oh my God, that person, they know who the person is, and they are driving around in a pickup truck, in the back of a pickup truck, when they're not even supposed to be, in terms of the laws, you know, election, in terms of the laws, and there are certain places they're not supposed to be, but they're in constituencies doing what? People come and they complain and they say to me, Marcia, well, I am upset because this particular politician came into the community in our constituency today and gave out this, you know, they call him big figures, $20,000, and I didn't get any.
Woo.
This is what I'm saying, that we are wasting time if we're not going to deal with these kinds of collusions, this kind of corruption, with the politicians. I'm telling you, a lot of them, they can't do anything with the crime in the communities because they have empowered those people. They gave them money at election time. They know it's true. They gave them money at election time. And I know what I'm talking about, Mr. Strickland. I'm not calling anybody's name. I'm not foolish enough to do that. But those who are listening to me, you know who you are. In fact, can I tell you a story?
What, Marcia?
And I'm being very creative. I'm thinking as I'm saying this because I don't want to incriminate myself or anything, right? Or to cause any issues. But it's a true story. This particular person, you know, was in the gang lifestyle and so on, and was helping a particular politician. This is a true thing I'm telling you. And the night before the election, so that person was helping on the campaign, right?
Okay.
In the night before the election, the politician came with a big envelope, a big fat envelope, right? A big, you know, those long brown envelopes, right?
Okay.
And put it down on the dashboard and say, do what you need to do for me. You listening to me?
I'm listening, Marcia.
This is a young man. And so this is a politician is trying to get in power so he can govern. Okay? And he is breaking the laws and getting this young man who's trying to live, to get out of the gang lifestyle. He gave him a whole set of money and said, make it happen. Yeah. He gave it to him and said, make it happen. And, you know, sometimes what I'm sure they know that sometimes some of the money that they give to them and they tell them, make it happen, they don't make nothing happen. You know, some of these people, they pocket all of it for themselves, you know, and so on. But I'm saying that this is the environment we live in, Mr. Strickland, and we have to face it. And so do you think now, Mr. Strickland, that young man, if he gets into trouble with the law, don't you think that it is very likely that that politician is going to try to protect that young man?
But obviously, there's nothing to tie the politician to him because cash does not have a name. First thing, okay. It is unfortunate that we prey sometimes on persons, uh, some who are vulnerable, and also there are those who are greedy. When the results were coming for the general election, and the one that there was one thing that hurt me deeply, let us say deeply, was when the first box was called for the city. And I'm not trying to cast any aspiration on the city, but the first box that came in, that young man who ran in the city for the Democratic Labour Party.
You mean
I
Dale?
heard Dale, yeah, Dale. He was Dale. Okay, I heard him bare his soul on the campaign trail about his past. This is a young man that has worked extremely hard to bring himself from where he was to where he now. Okay, when those results came in, you had a situation where Michael Ashley would have only been running for about 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Oh, how long?
Yeah.
Michael Ashley got 100 and some odd. Okay, he got 100 and some odd votes, and that young man got 10 votes, 10 single votes. When I heard that night, it hurt me deeply that we, the citizens of Barbados, okay, I'm not excusing the actions of politicians or whoever else, but when we, the citizens of Barbados, could have a young man who've come from the point of any person who would have heard him speak about his past, his mother, and so forth, to who he was, okay, you want what I'm saying? And then in one box, only 10 people could vote for him. That speaks a whole lot to us as Barbadians. Okay, this has nothing to do with partisan politics. It speaks a lot to us as Barbadians. So when we want the police force, the police service to do this, and want to stop things, what is our responsibility to ensure that there's a better alternative to what is there? So we may take joy in results and so forth, but we have then to recognize that we have contributed and we continue to contribute to what is happening in our country. Okay, so whether we decide to go to a prayer meeting with the Marcia Weekes Show, or we chose not to go with a march, or to come on this program and to speak and whatever else, we are taking responsibility for all of the actions, partly responsible for the actions in Barbados. Okay, and we can't excuse it only on those others. We must take responsibility. Okay, because it takes a community to raise a child. It takes a community to have it. So we must get back to community so that we care about one another, expose our young individuals to Christian moral guidance and so forth, that they have options when they're going to make a decision. But if they only expose to one side, they have no options. Okay, they will do only what? That one thing or those few things that they've been exposed to. And that's the reality.
Yes, very well said. Very well said. Mr. Strickland, and this is a topic that I'm very passionate about, and when Mr. Lashley, as much as I just didn't like the way he handled himself politically, but he made a speech after he was appointed, and I thought it was a great speech, and I said so. A lot of people were very upset with me for saying that, but because I'm serious about this whole business about crime. I believe we can we can see changes, but we have to be serious about it. But after that, as you said, you heard the speech after. It's just been speeches. I'm not seeing the results. I'm not seeing the action. I'm not seeing results. It's not happening for me. I'm not seeing it, and so it makes me doubt the process. Really, and so this is a topic that I could talk about for the whole night. But it's 9:54, and And the other topics, sorry guys, we didn't get to do it, but we'll continue. I ask Dr. Ferdinand to, to talk about them on Friday. All right. The other two topics that we didn't get to touch on tonight. But I would love for Dave to put up the pictures of those that are wanted, and some of them you will see they're in police custody. I want to encourage us that, especially those of you who believe in the power of prayer, who believe that God can transform people. I know this is not a church thing, right? And some of you would tell me, Marcia, you're too, you don't want to get too religious. But you see, look at where we are right now. Look at where we are right now. You take a young man like Zico, it was through the church that he was able to transform his life. And or he would probably be one of these guys or be 6 foot under. So I am saying to those of you who know how to call unto God, to me, this should be your prayer focus should be these in the wanted category. The others are dead and gone. Okay, we can pray for their families, but you see these that are in the wanted category. I'm waiting on Dave to put it up for me. I want you to go and write down the names. Why are you writing down the names? You're praying for them without judgment, because somebody's wanted doesn't mean that they're guilty. Right, Mr. Strickland?
Correct, because you're innocent until proven guilty. And for
Right.
anyone who sits on a jury, like I did, that's the first thing that the judge will say. We brought this person here. It's the responsibility of the police, the prosecutor, to prove that this person is guilty. So the person is innocent until proven guilty.
Yes. So I'm saying, because sometimes I think that we can get success, we can get the results we want one way or the other. I'm telling you. You understand? And if we realize that the government, let's make it general, the government, that what they're doing doesn't have any teeth, and we're not seeing the results, let's take it to a higher government. Let's go to a higher government, people. I'm dead serious about this. Listen, I am committing myself, Mr. Strickland, and I pray every church and every pastor start to pray over these that you see in front of you.
Okay.
There are pastors there. There are lawyers there. There are all kinds of different people, engineers that are right there. And those are our Black boys and our Black children and our Black men and our Black fathers. So while we are on here and we're asking the government to do what they need to do, we need to do what we need to do.
Correct.
Do you understand? So I am saying, I start to look at their faces, Mr. Strickland. I look at them in their eyes on the picture. They got a heart beating in the chest. And I'm saying, guys, pray for them without judgment. I pray for them without judgment. Pray for them like it was your grandson. Pray for them like it was your cousin. Pray for them like it was your brother or your child or your best friend child. Because they are part of us. They're part of our country. They're part of our communities. And if they don't change, they're going to terrorize us in this place.
Correct.
But Mr. Strickland, you will have the final word, because you could tell I'm very passionate about this area. Very passionate. But final word.
You see, having been involved with Vacation Bible School program for over 40 years. Yes, over 40 years. I as I said, I am passionate about children and young people, and I believe that we need not only to pray, but we need to be among them, spend time to help them to know that they're loved by individuals, they're loved by God, because we have to show them that they have value, that they have worth, because so many things have been spoken in and over their spirit for so long that they don't think that they matter, and therefore when we help them, we pray for them, but then we connect with them rather than shunning them. Okay, because that's part of it. You said pray for them, and individuals will say, "Why pray for them? How about the family of the deceased?" Because that's the first thing that you're gonna hear a person say. Why pray for them? Why not the family of the deceased? But you spoke to both issues. You speak to the family about praying for those of the family of the deceased, but you also, because the person who committed that crime, they have a mother, they have a sister, they have relatives that as they move through the community, persons are pointing at fingers at them, and they did all that they could do. Okay, because God says He nourished and brought up children, and they rebel against Him, and therefore, in saying you have parents have done all within their power. They've worked hard. Okay, they've done more of a job than others, but yet that child chose a particular path. But then you are castigated, you are whatever it's because of the actions of your child. It's unfair sometimes. So I like what you said just now, because that person still has value, and therefore when we pray and we reach out to them, then it can make all the difference on whether they remain on the same path or they take a 360-degree turn. And so I believe that what we would have shared tonight would have helped all individuals to examine themselves and see what role they can play in making a difference in this country of ours.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Strickland. It's a joy having you on. I know we talked about pensions, but it's so good that we can talk about some other things as well. And you're so versed in all these different areas. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. To the viewers, thank you once again to Ramon and Jamal. All the very best in your project with Shine Barbados. Thank you, Dave. Thank you to everybody who supported. Thank you, Michelle, for the music and for the equipment and all that you do for Barbados. Michelle Daniel is who I'm speaking of. Thank you, Bihoy, all of you in the diaspora who continue to help, continue to serve, continue to help us. Thank you. And remember that we have our bus ride that is coming up, our excursion. And I did hear back from the driver, from the bus owner. And so we're putting a flyer together for you. Hopefully by Friday, we will have that flyer ready. So you will know the details of that excursion to Farley Hill. You're going to come with us, Mr. Strickland?
Depending on date and so forth, but Farley Hill is just up the road from me, so I may not get on the bus, right? But I may be able to meet you at Farley Hill. Because
yes.
Because I said it's just up the hill from me, because I'm here in St. Lucie. Is up, and it's my favorite picnic spot in Barbados. Farley Hill is my favorite spot. You want to say?
We're gonna bring the food, and we're gonna spread it out, and we're gonna have a good time. All right. So all the very best to everybody. Good night, and God bless you. Bye bye.
Good night. Good night.
I like your aura. The body explorer. It's your girl Shalee, and I'll be performing at Shine Barbados Talent Show, bringing my debut single, Aura, to the stage. Come and support local talent. It's going to be an amazing show. Don't you miss it. Come feel the aura.
I said rum is water. One more can get slaughter. Malibu get slaughter. I got jack down somebody's daughter. Hi, what's up? What's going on? It's the ladies Montreal Casa inviting you to Shine Barbados, May 2nd, Joshua Auditorium. Witness me there, perform me a medley of songs. I'll see you soon.
As a person in front of the Shine Barbados talent show and come to give a little piece of my talent, it's like I get into the bone. This rock is my home. This is the kind of place to experience your phone for. You must come here and see it on your own, but make no mistake. For this into land of just sand and sea, but within our shores, you'll find people with the highest capacity. I mean, you're looking at one of them who's been blessed creatively, and although we come with a lot of audacity, they're just due to our natural tenacity for a people blessed by his highest majesty. With an accent so sweet, it just rolls off the tongue. Some people say it sounds like a song. Best place to hear is somewhere in town where you have a vendor selling cucumber, $2 for a pound. Come up to George Street Auditorium. Big up.